got a ton of comments already flying in. So yeah, here we are, the Realtrax Railroad live stream. I came up with the name, and Zach wrote the itinerary for the stream.
Put it on me. Put it on me. I see how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Apologize for the late coming in, having some technical difficulties.
The software's brand new, like brand spanking new. We could be the first YouTubers.
Cool. It's cool to be trying it out, though.
It is.
It worked out perfect.
It's after we figured out you have to put the screen in portrait mode, and everyone's sideways, and then our heads were like this. We did a trial run. It looked like Conehead's Revenge or something. It was nuts. So this is cool. So we got lots of comments in here already. They're just flying in. Just letting like my people know that this is a little bit different live stream, guys. I'm not going to read as many comments because we're kind of doing a collab here. So it is what it is. Zach's the guest. Monday run days are a little different, but got lots of cool comments coming in. So we'll get to as many as we can. Plus, Zach can read comments on his screen.
Absolutely.
They're now coming in on the screen, so I'm not all out, and I got the computer in front of me because we got to look something up or whatever. Chessie's trying to destroy my yellow belly over here on my desk. So, whoops, I can't get over there. So, there we go.
Let her destroy it.
Oh yeah, no. I saw, like I told you yesterday. So, guys, I'm looking up the trains, and the trains with a Z. And I found a PS1 Hudson. It was like $400. I was like, oh no, God. Oh no. He said cheers. I don't even have a drink.
We did. Big salute to all you guys. I hope everybody's doing good. Thank you for joining us. Glad to be here.
Hold up. There we go.
Oh, you're slacking. You are slacking.
If I get the head off.
Come on, man. You know who you're doing a show with? What are you doing? No, I'm kidding. We can get that forward. Let me read through some of these comments. What's going on, guys? Jub, how you doing? David, good to see you. AR Trains, nice to see you as well. Cheers to you, Tom's Trains and Accessories. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Again, thanks for joining us. Thank you for the alcohol's already hitting. Thank you for the kind comments. How y'all doing tonight?
Is the cat destroying the trains? Yes, she is. Not on purpose. She's a cat. Well, granted, she would destroy CNO, and her name's Chessie. So, I don't know. Man, that drink.
Mine do the same.
Wow. Cure's the worst. Cheers back. Uh-oh.
Some homemade hooch, huh, Tom?
Nice. That's great. Oh, man.
I'm just sticking with my boy Jack tonight, as always.
Yeah, same here. This must be his stepson. It's Tennessee honey, so it's a little sweeter than...
Nice.
I've had this since I moved in, so this is it's aged, 2-year-olds, whatever.
There you go. To perfection.
I've got a picture of this. It's the only thing in my fridge. And it's just sitting in the middle. And I was like, I'm home. So, as you can see, I drink so much in 2 years. And I've got my girl drinks behind me. I've got a Smirnoff Ice to wash it down. And then I got This stuff's good. The problem is it goes down fast. So you're like, I need a 6-pack plus a 6-pack.
Yeah.
Bottoms up.
Well, it's sweet. Drink it like a normal drink, and next thing you know, you don't feel it till it sneaks up on you.
That's what I'm afraid of. I got water, and I've got crackers. Yeah, Chessie's looking at me. She's like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's his alcohol. But yeah, lots.
Man, we had booze from the wedding left over for forever. I've been staring at bottles. I'm finally gotten down to the last 2. I think we're down to like a bottle and a half of Captain, which isn't my boy. I'm not a Captain man.
Oh, you can. I'll drink it.
So that one's going to take a while to go.
Oh, geez. Lackawanna John. I'm running Lackawanna. So, Uh-oh. Broke out the, oh God. Yeah, this is actually the first time I've ever, well, actually, the last time I drank on this channel was Zach's video, the smoke challenge. Um,
You
the guy,
did do that. Yeah.
he did a heck of a job. His whole attic and, oh no, the garage. That garage was toasty.
Oh, the winter. Yeah. Wasn't that awesome?
I couldn't do that. I just ran a little K4 that's got a PS1 smoker, but if you do that challenge again, I'll submit.
I talked to Tony yesterday, or maybe it was earlier today. I don't remember, but we were talking about it. I do want to try and do something again. That was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
I had a lot of fun with that one, and a lot of people seem to enjoy that one. I don't know if we'll do quite as much as like we did last year, but try and do something at least.
Whoa.
Maybe one or two little things.
Well, Harry and the boys up at Hennings, they're doing these caboose challenges. So they're taking a basic caboose, like a little bobber, and they're saying, what can you do with this in an hour? And next they're doing a passenger car challenge. And I think after that they had some other challenge, a boxcar. It's a cool idea, but I don't think I'm cool enough to enter because I'm not that creative with that stuff. Sorry, I'm looking at the cat trying to destroy my oil derrick that I haven't even installed yet. So, and she's on the layout.
I heard it.
I heard it. This is not good. There she is.
The Rose Jewel Railroad. I kind of use a couple different smoke fluids. I use JT Mega Steam, my favorite one from them lately.
Uh-oh. Let me guess. Like pipe.
And maple sugar. Have you tried this stuff? This and Christmas by MTH. Those are my favorites.
This one's good. Apple Harvest. As you can see, it's almost empty.
Is it nice?
This one's really good. It's girlfriend, fiance, and wife friendly. So any of you guys out there running trains and your significant other, it could be either way. Because I know we have some female viewers. They're not many, but there's a couple. If you're running these trains and you don't like the smoky smell, this is great. It's like a crisp apple with really sweet after smell to it. It's cool. Like some of these JTs, like root beer, when it burns, it kind of gets like this oily smell, and Nikki hates it. Like JT, that's my only complaint with JT. Sometimes there's an afterburner effect. Look at this thing.
Love the cat roaming around in the background.
She's not allowed to do that, but I'll play nice. We're live in front of millions of people.
Millions.
Millions and millions.
When I got started, I was big and heavy. Oh, I'm only running diesel scented in the diesels and coal scented in the steamers. I didn't get into the what I would have originally called the girly scents until recently, a year or two ago. It's a much nicer experience.
Yeah, it's cool. Lionel makes pine scent. Pine's cool. I had a bad experience with cedar from, oh god, was it Mega Steam? Not JT's, but it's like a Mega Steam company. Theirs is dank. It was bad. Yeah, Joe.
You know it was terrible? Did you ever try? This is what I used to burn way back in the day. The full scented proto smoke. Oh, this stuff is horrible. I mean, it smells good in the bottle, but once you start burning it, it's terrible.
There you go. This stuff is the diesel. This is diesel smell, and it's still full. Diesel. But it's got my complaint. Okay, MTH thought it like they got an idea. They're like, okay, underneath this cone of wonder, we'll put a spout so you can't drip it everywhere. Well, guess what? You got this. The hood of the fake train is in the way. Mm-hmm. You go to pour, and it like you can't like. Ripped. Yeah. If it did an eyedropper, it would have been really cool. But I think this is like 20 years old. Let's see.
Oh yeah, it's the same with this one.
Yeah, this is oh god, manufactured by MTH Electric Trains, 1999. It's an antique.
It's an antique.
I don't burn it. It's
on eBay. You might make some money.
I'll throw it on trains and see what happens.
Don't forget that's trains with a Z.
Z, and I do not have a code.
Me neither.
Railflight's Matt. That's one of my channel mods. He's got the Blue Wrench of Power. he looks out for trolls and all that. But he's cool. Just wonder what the blue wrench is.
The admins.
The admins. Oh yeah. Eggs and bacon.
WD-40. Are you burning WD-40 in the engines?
That's what. I wouldn't do that. Do not do that. This smells like WD-40. If you want this, if you're ever in Strasbourg and you're going to meet me there, I'll give you this. Just let me know. I'll take it off my hands. It smells like WD-40.
Jub, thank you. No, we're doing good. We've been together, Sabrina and I, Christ, 10 years now, 11 years, something like that. We've been living together for a while. So, yeah, we're quite used to each other. Yeah. I was the one dragging my feet, taking forever to make it official. Yeah, but on that note, a big congratulations to Nick. Just recently got engaged. Congrats, man.
Thank
Salute.
you. Woohoo. Hold up. My life is over. No, I'm just kidding. Just beginning.
Oh, my God. What did you just say? I hope she's not watching.
She's at work, I think. No. No, we're cool. We've been living together for 2 years plus, and then been together since 2019, and then the world ended, and then we came back, and we're all good. Hey, Chessie. No, yeah. Look at this. So
I see it.
She doesn't know what to do. So I'm holding her.
Excited. Oh, she's with Dad in front of the camera.
Yeah, and her tail just knocked over my mic's hard on the floor. The cap's still on it, but yeah, salute to the women who put up with our trains.
Absolutely. I'll drink to that again too. Absolutely.
Yeah. What the heck? This stuff, I need like 3 more of those. But I'm off of work tomorrow, and then for tomorrow, I'm actually going off to Strasbourg to film 611 in the rain. So it's gonna be fun. So I'm ready for that. It's gonna be awesome.
That'll be a lot of fun.
I'll have to sleep this off and drink lots of water. But we'll see. Still sneaking my York finds past the girlfriend. Oh God. Uh-oh. Dude, that guy's in trouble.
Hey, Dave, what's going on? How you doing, D.A. Griffin?
What's up, brother? I might see him tomorrow at Strasbourg. We're not sure yet.
Dave, we were actually talking about you last night while we were getting this live show together.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't help but notice somebody's getting some scale pieces of equipment.
It's like the John Candy watch thing over the arm. It's like they didn't make those in 027.
Hey, Rail Chief, how you doing?
What's up, Rail Chief?
I'm trying to get to York this next year. We'll see. No promises yet, but I'm working on it. We're trying.
Same with me because of the job stuff now. Anyone watching? I actually got the word yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I got the job with Amtrak. So Amtrak, if you're watching this, I'm not on the clock. This was recorded on 11/10/2022.
Salute again, man. I don't know if this is gonna be a long show.
Trying to get me. And then plus with the cat in the background, this is ridiculous. Look at her. God. I know you guys were asking me, and the problem was, I told Zach yesterday when we're setting this up, they do a conditional offer, and the conditional offer is not guaranteed. It's conditional. So, like Norfolk Southern, a lot of you guys were asking me, what's going on with that? What's going on? Then it hit the fan. Trying to use some friendly language before these drinks go down. I can't speak. But, yeah, so I didn't want to jump the gun, but this is legit. I have a start date. Everything's cleared. Everything's good. So, finally, a railroad has decided to pick me up. It's exciting. I'm not, I had some trolls. They're probably watching now. If you are, Pound Sand basically said I couldn't do the job, and you're false. Like, totally. So, I know they're watching. They're always watching. But it's all good. We got a job. Well, it's not a job; it's a career. That's the thing.
A career.
Rarely.
Well, no, man. Awesome. I know you've been working on it for quite a while. I'm very happy for you.
It's only a year. Then I'll be able to tell you guys. I can do like, give you guys the scoop on trains and stuff. So, but yeah,
so yeah, well, that means you're going to be away from home for a while then, yeah?
only for 4 weeks. Here, I gotta get her down again. She's eating trees. Oh, get off the track! Get out of the gauge.
Judd, maybe I'll take you up on that. Triple mash, let's do it.
Got a bottle of Jack. Triple. What's a triple mash? Is that just a different drink?
I can't say I've heard of it. I mean, I'm assuming it's more refined or something like that. I'm cheap, man. I go for the cheap stuff at the at the store.
Actually, I think my parents bought me this when I moved in. They're like, "We'll get you a bottle of Jack." I'm like, "Cool." It's just got to go. What's up, RJ? How's it going? Yeah, Chessie's eating my trees that are like $5 a piece, and now she's trying to eat. I don't know what she's eating. I don't care. But now she's been very like in the space up here. So
you're better than me. I chase mine out of here with a broom sometimes. It seems like.
Oh no.
my one. We got two. I got Steve, my little white cat, and then we got a big fat orange barn cat, Lawson. Steve's actually a little shit though. That used to be real good. He was real good till the other one came to the house.
Of course.
But he would get up here, and at first it wasn't that big a deal, sunbathing in the windows and whatnot. And of course, I'd get his fur all over the layout. But I caught that little SOB pissing in the back corner of the layout. Like my grass turf back there is like bleached from his urine. It's horrible.
Sterile, right?
I only way I discovered it because you can't see it, from where you're standing.
You can smell
when I put the smell, yes. So I'm going around the room like, where the hell is this scent coming from? Well, I put a GoPro on one of my cars for one of the videos. Yeah. And when I was editing, I was watching it. I'm like, why is this turf like yellow?
It's a new Woodland Scenics color. They haven't released it yet.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the hell is this?
What was the one thing? It's like it's not Galactic P. It's from Vacation. Oh geez, do you know what I'm talking about with Chevy Chase? The car color of the truckster. Metallic P or something.
I don't remember that part.
It's like that's the new. That's the Woodland Scenics new color of 2022 is Metallic P.
Metallic P.
Guys, I'd be a trackman, and people are asking what position it's for track. So I'll be outside in the dust, the dirt, the snow, the rain. I love it. I love working outside. My desk job has taken my health away from me, unfortunately.
I can understand that.
Oh gosh. But yeah, this it's gonna be fun. There's lots of machinery. Plus, a lot of the guys that do work for Amtrak, they seem happier than your typical freight guys. Well, actually, that's not true. The happiest freight railroader that I know is probably George from Florida Railroad Dog. He loves his job, and he helped me try to get a job at one point, but I'm like, I can't move to Florida. I want to, but I can't.
Hey, I tried. I put my 2 cents into.
I got a Dream O scale, so wait, Dream in O scale.
Yes,
but
I got ain't got no gas in it.
No gas. Oh my god! Fantastic! That's awesome. So what layout are you working on now? Is it not the one behind you, right?
What one am I working on? I'm working on the one behind you guys. Actually, I was actually putzing around with it today, working on the corner, putting up some more hills and whatnot. I'm not extremely ecstatic. Well, here we can try out this new you guys for a... Is it working?
Yeah, I still see you. Oh, look at that.
So currently, I'm working back here. I don't know. I'm not overly ecstatic with it, but it looks a lot better than just flat table.
Yeah. Now it looks
cool. I love working with this foam. to like get the rocks and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I
But
know you.
it just, I love the way that came out. It just kind of looks a little goofy going into the other hill.
Oh, it's all good. As
But
soon as
once we get our structures and whatnot in front,
you
I think it'll be.
add some people, add some. There's one figurine I've been looking for. It's a kid with a kite, and the kite actually moves. I think it's a Lionel accessory. It wouldn't fit on my layout because those accessories have like this giant like green thing under it for the
Mm-hmm.
mechanic. But I saw one. I think Scenic Express makes it. It's literally a kid flying a kite. That would look kind of cool, like in the hill.
That would be awesome.
I gotta
That
find
would
room.
be really.
I'm all out of room up here, as you guys know. Um, I've had mixed emotions on this layout. Some people, well, mixed emotions from fans and just comments, because some people say, it's small, whatever. But when you're given a 12 foot wide room, um, you got to make the best of it. That's it. I just have a
Oh
12.
yeah.
It goes down to like 10. And then I think this way, like lengthwise, it's only 18 feet or something like that. So unfortunately, there's steps to get up here that take up space and a crawl space. I can't. I mean, I could,
Hey,
but that
I got to fight it, man. I think everybody in this hobby fights it. We always want something bigger. We always want something in our minds better.
exactly.
Like we were talking about the other day. I got a lot of length in this room, but it's only 9 feet deep.
Yep.
So I
Well,
wish it was wider.
how do you get like back to that corner? I know that's a huge question. A lot of guys ask in comments and stuff. I know you've done layout updates, but how do you get back there if a train derails or something?
Back here, I can come in through the window. If it derails on here, I'm kind of SOL. I got a yardstick and I'm pushing stuff
Okay.
to try and get to where I need to get to. Because, yeah, there's no climbing my fat ass on this table. That's not happening anymore. But
I know.
with this one that I'm working on, obviously it's nice and empty, so I
Yeah.
can crawl up on that, and I do everything there. That's why I spend so much time doing the track work, making sure all that Realtrax is joined up nice. Because
Gotcha.
really, I mean, once you do that, I really don't have any derailments, to be honest with you.
I,
I get a couple here and there. I'm not perfect, obviously. When a train takes off unexpectedly, like I know we've all dealt with stuff like
yep.
that, but as
No,
long as they're running as they should.
I was gonna say
But
that.
I so you, like we were talking about, you got that nice walk around setup. You're sitting in the middle. That's got
Right.
to be nice.
It's fun. I will say that, but I know a lot of guys have been asking, like, are you going to expand out on my right to do like more of a town scene? But then I'm going to want to add more track. But I was just asking about that room. I've always wondered what you do, but that's why we named the stream. We came to a truce for like the Realtrax Railroad because Zach and I both use Realtrax. I know some people hate it, some people love it.
Oh,
I love it too. I've got a whole tub actually behind me of just Realtrax that was left over, and basically, I experimented with Fast Track years ago. I was very unimpressed because I was running. A lot of you guys out there have pre-war and post-war stuff, and if you get one of those old pre-war engines, it just scars up the track and welds it up. And it was all pitted, and I was like, I know it's Ferris, so you can use magnet traction, but I just was not impressed with the pricing too of the switches and all that.
yeah.
And I've also seen, I'm not naming any names here, but lots of our fellow YouTubers that that are in our circle here that use like Lionel Fast Track. They have issues with the switches, and the switches are a fortune. They should be flawless. And also, I can run pre-war on Realtrax. I think Mike did that on
Yeah.
purpose. For reading about that, I can run my 1688s from 1935, and they're not jumping. They're not Gravedigger jumping over a ramp here, and like, all that stuff. It just glides, and then getting my I've got a 248 that Harry Henning restored, so I don't want that flying off the table. I trust the
No.
real tracks, and the profile is different. Realtrax, I think, is the tubular stuff is more of a rounded profile, but it gives you more height. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I did want to say thank you guys in the comments. I really appreciate that. And Heather, go screw yourself.
Uh, are you going
Everybody,
to house with a bridge?
That used to be the running joke for quite a while.
I remember you doing a video on that. You're like standing
Oh
by.
my God! Every other comment. I mean, I felt bad, but it was just like, oh.
Getting a cab ride on 611. I am poor. I am the. I can't afford that. Like I would have to sell my left and right kidney, and then I couldn't be drinking this beautiful alcohol right here tonight with you guys. So you know, uh, it's all good. I will enjoy 611 in the rain and from the sidelines tomorrow. I'm running my 612. I don't have her fired up now. She's a loud girl, so it's like it's like a pre-war or post-war recreation of the 612. Same tooling as a 746, I believe. And
Mm-hmm.
she's a cranky girl. I've rewired her like 6 times, and Lionel should be paying me.
Good luck.
I don't know what goofball wired it originally at Lionel, but it might have been their like last day. They just wire everything together. There's not a solder joint in sight, so you got a grouping of like 5 wires for the power. It's all just wire nut. I was like, "Are you serious?" And the wire nuts had no metal collars in them, so they were like just threaded plastic. I was like, "This is garbage." So
Nice.
it's all good. Just reading some comments.
What have you been working on? Anything you've been got going on with, or the train garden, as I know you sometimes call it?
Excuse me. The train garden thing. Okay, a lot of people ask me that. I think that's a Maryland thing, also a German thing, because apparently beer gardens would have trains, and then G scale and I think HO and G garden scale, like a German tradition. And up until I think that's when guys brought trains back from World War II from Germany. I've heard of that, so I think that's a German thing. But yeah, my family, my dad still calls it. He doesn't call it the layout. He calls it the train garden.
I gotta be honest. I didn't hear it until you. To be honest with you,
I think it's a Maryland or like Southern Pennsylvania thing, because you'll see. I think our local fire hall, they'll say, well, they say train display, but down in Baltimore, there's what's it called? Wise Avenue Fire Department. I did a video. Actually, no, I didn't do a video there, but White Marsh Fire Department. That's where my old neighborhood is. I did a video there, and they call it a train garden as well. So it's like an old tradition. And my parents were saying during Christmas time, you could walk the streets, and they would have like their bay windows would have a train layout in them, and that's where they kind of got that too. It was pretty cool. Hey, there's trainers stopping in. He made it. That's cool. Very cool.
Hey man, how's it going?
Awesome beer collaboration. Uh-oh. I'm just drinking. I'm almost out of this thing.
Oh, beer. I know. It started out full. We're gonna have to go back.
We're about to. No, you drank more than that. I'll just put my hand over it, like this, like.
Well, I know we mentioned York earlier. Any big purchases that you picked up? Any new good?
Lots of So I'll be surprised. Like, I was very surprised this year that I was able to pick up mostly command engines. I would say the biggest bang for the buck was the Lackawanna that I'm going to run. It was like $200, brand new in the box. The guy said it sat on the shelf, and for some reason, all the trains I bought at York, they all had a shelf sit story, so they never ran. There's like an older gentleman passed away. One was like, I heard that all day. I was like, oh, this guy died. And you got his trains. I'm like, oh, cool. Mm-hmm. So
I understand.
They just sat on a shelf. I didn't quite get it, but these engines, I know the Lackawanna with Odyssey wasn't too expensive. The 040 I think was right around like $300 when it came out, but it was brand new, and the guy just sat them on a shelf. The Yellow Belly, I want to say, I think no Ants Railkin is probably like around $300 retail, but they sat on a shelf too, so they bought it new, and sat on a shelf. So those are the big ones. Got some cool cars, of course, and I don't know what the biggest purchase you have is. What the I think you said the triplex, right? Or the newest purchase?
That's my newest.
Okay.
I need to take it with me. We're gonna go on a trip. If this storm doesn't clobber us too bad,
Okay.
it's acting up, but it's an old engine.
Okay.
The lights on the engine when it's going around a curve and it's articulating kind of like dim down. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's the tether, but I'm kind of hoping it's just a loose wire inside too, because that tether is going to be kind of a pain in the ass to find.
Yeah, I don't see Sean in. Sean's got that same train, um, Sean's Train Depot. And when I came over to the house, and he showed me the triplex, it was amazing. And actually, this is really crazy. His triplex actually rolled off the seat in his car because he had a really hard stop, and the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
rolled onto the floor in a
Oh,
towel. And then he brought it back to his house. We couldn't get it running at Harry's. There was an electrical issue or something for the run for fun, but he brought it back. the The butt end of the train was trying to catch up to the front articulating part, and it was doing like
mm-hmm.
one of these, and he just found out it
Huh.
was loose tether. So it might be the
Well,
problem.
that's what I'm hoping. I wasn't going to worry about it because the engines are so intricate and how they're put together, the motors, the drive shafts, and the controls, and they got a bunch of like known issues. And besides
Yeah.
that, this runs flawlessly. So when I took it with me the other week up there, and me and Mike were looking at it, and we were both kind of like, it sucks, but it's such a good running engine. Do you really want to open it up and mess with it? And I
Hmm.
was like, well, I can live with the lights dimming, going around the curve. I was like, you're right, I'll live with it. But this past week, I've been running it. Now I notice when the smoke units are on,
Yep.
when it does the same thing, but the lights turn completely off and the smoke unit turns off. So yeah,
Ex-
we'll take it in.
Yeah. Take a look. It's probably something loose. I mean, I was gonna run my K4S tonight, but the cherry switch keeps on acting up. I think smoke fluid's getting into that. So that might be another problem you're having is smoke fluid. Just anyone out there, smoke fluid is non-conductive. It's probably the least
Oh,
conductive.
it causes some havoc if you're not careful with it.
Yeah, and with these like cherry switches, they'll fry cherry switches. Like it just gets in there, and you go to spray contact cleaner, and what it'll do is just look at this cat's trying to get into. She's on my caboose shelf. She's trying to destroy everything. Fantastic. Just break it. You can break it. It's okay. It's only 30 years old. But yeah, so smoke fluid keeps on getting into the cherry switch on the K4S, the K line. It's one of my favorite runners. It's beautiful, and I tried to replace it right before the stream. It's working, but there's still something not right. So I might
Yeah.
just do a what do you call it? A reed switch on the wheel, and
Oh, yep.
so
Magnet.
yeah, and then I'll get the the problem is I'll get 4 chuffs per revolution, but then the smoke will only puff out every other. So it's like I can't win. I can't win at all.
Damn
Like
it,
I
dude.
redid like I did a video on this guy. This is my 080, and I put rail sounds in the tender. I think I only used one magnet. Yeah, only one magnet because the wheels are so small on the engine, and it matches up. This is like a starter set. I mean, you can get these for like $100, but
Mhm.
it's my version of 475. It has boot, so that's.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's just been. I think York was fun. I highly recommend coming up, and if you do,
Oh, I'm proud to.
you'll have fun. And
Oh yeah.
there's all kinds of stuff.
One of these days.
Hopefully, and I got to make sure I can get off of work now. I know I can't go all 3 days if well, I know Amtrak, you get your first week off after your first year, so I would have a couple days off by then, which is great. Um, well, actually, no, I wouldn't. By next York and next York. Now, I'd have to wait till next spring. So 2024. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a minute.
I'll be out of Fridays and Thursdays. Is there a crack in the smoke housing? Tom, it's the gasket. She's got a. I might just throw a fan. Fans solve all your problems. So I'll just throw a fan smoker in there. What are you running
Tom,
behind you?
I got the Jersey Central F3s. Actually, in honor of Veterans Day tomorrow, got the military train out. I did want to take a quick second, give a big thank you to all our vets out there. Very, very big thank you. So we got that run. Like nothing super special.
I can't see it. I gotta like zoom in. I gotta like pinch the screen. I can't see. Wait, that's the wrong pinch. I like zoom myself in. Wow. So ABA.
Yep, ABA, and then we got our Real King military cars behind it.
Look at that.
We can speed it up a little.
Is that a CNJ?
What's that?
Is that a CNJ engine?
Yep.
Oh, sweet. Oh, you
got this turned down slightly.
Oh man, you can't even hear it. That's amazing.
I wanted to have them all running, but since we're on the phone, yeah, that would have been a lost cause.
Here, this is the one. Here, I'll fire this thing up. Whoa, that was the NW wanting to run. No, I don't want to fire that up. So I switched my tracks around.
Mm-hmm.
Got rail sounds too. I gotta wait for it to stop doing all its battery. But yeah, so with the tracks up here, I found out. I think you told me this, and anyone out there, I think I told you guys this as well. Power Masters don't play well with PS1.
Yeah.
So I switched my tracks to the TPC, the one actually you gave me a long while ago, like a year ago.
It's still working.
I think so. We can find out. But yeah, no, it's perfect. It's awesome. I want the TPC 400 the 400. Throw that on the outer track or the inner track now because the Power Master's cool, but it just doesn't have the umph. Like if I run post war, the tank shorted out, or it thinks it's drawing too much power because the resistor and the whistle switch, so it totally just shuts down. If I run anything that pulls more than like 6 amps, like old post and pre-war, the train just goes shh,
guys,
and then you got to crank her back up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
the fun.
It's all
I saw some. Jub, you are absolutely correct. Do you mind if I step out for a second?
Alcohol refill.
Yeah, I got to refill real quick. You good for a second?
George Trains bought a B&O Lionel 2.0. Very cool. Just arrived. Congratulations on that. And guys, I'm looking down. I have the comments on the computer in front of me. There's a little bit different setup than what we're used to, but this is really cool. Just letting any YouTubers out there know about this this software. I might use it more often to bring in friends and guests of the channel. And it's a really cool software. Basically, you send a link out, and the guest, I don't want to call it guest. I mean, we're friends, you know, but it's like they get this code, they hit the link, and they're there. You just hit accept. This is a whole new software being developed by YouTube. So we could be one of the first channels out there right now doing this. It's pretty cool. Probably the first in the hobby to use the share function. And it's just a really, really cool thing. Run countries. I can't run your trains over there.
What happened?
Brian for Train Seekers, like, Nick, hurry up and run Country Bunkers trains. I can't. I don't have the.
Man, take it. Let's do it.
Can't. It costs too much.
Oh man, here we go.
Oh no! Well, I saw someone bought a TIU. Oh, actually, I'll tell you guys this. So I keep on telling Zach about my buddy Troy up in Iron Horse Trains. I give them so many plugs and channels and all that because they are a really cool store. Great, friends. We become friends. It's not just customers. You can go up there and talk. And I actually called him today. I'm going to buy a Fred finally, like the end of life. I told you about that.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting one? Excellent.
Yes, it's the highlight of my weekend. But yeah, they're really cool. So you know, I was just going through all of that, and man, they got so much cool stuff up there. But I've lost my train of thought. That's going to be the highlight of my weekend, buying a Fred and put that on the caboose.
I'm glad because I think you were telling me they were out of stock or something like that.
They were.
So I'm glad, yeah.
He had one unboxed in a cabinet. It's a yellow with a red light. Yeah, and it's
Cool.
$20. I don't care. It's a truck, so it's gonna be pretty crazy. But
They're easy to put on.
oh yeah, I'm
They're
gonna
not.
throw just,
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah.
I cannot have just a car at the end of my train. I can't do it.
Well, you're gonna hate me. That's what's running right now.
Uh-oh.
Actually, you can see it right there.
Oh no.
There it is.
No. Here, it's Rail King. I'll throw this Rail King. I mean, how could you not look at this thing? I got this at York too. This is pretty it's a hot piece. So
No, it looks good.
there's a little man up there. He's trapped forever, unfortunately. So I'll never go home. Between this one, Rail King, and then the other one's Rail King 2. Where's that? Here it is. These are newer Rail King, but here's the B&O variation of it. And they actually, this one's older, and then this one has the glad hands for the brakes, which usually they don't put here. So you can see it on my it's like my Britney Spears mic in mini form on my face. But these are $20 each at York. So this stuff you see, it's nuts. Medics on the oh jeez.
I was watching a lot of the York videos. One vendor that I'm dying to see. I don't remember the name. I know Dak Man showed him off, and a bunch of other people showed him off. But the guy that was there offering the weathered cars, those things, awesome. Those look spectacular. What were the price tags on those? Did you happen to catch them?
Too high.
Well, I mean, I know they're going to be expensive. But no, I'm seriously, if I go, I know I'm going to have to carry a suitcase of money because I want to pick up a bunch of those. Those look gorgeous.
These people do take credit cards. We're in 2022. I'm just messing with you. No, those cars, I think they're Atlas. I want to say they're Atlas. And the guy just...
Were they?
Yeah, some of them look cool. I'm not a huge fan of the graffiti. Because, and I'll tell you why, because when I grew up around Baltimore, everything is just, I can say it now because I'm not going to work in there much longer. Everything's just kind of falling apart. And reminds me of seeing these beautiful cars is totally, it's not even good graffiti. It's a lot of profanity that you're driving.
Oh, no. Yeah, that I can understand. And that's not really, I'm not really big into that either. I just like seeing them weathered.
Yeah.
Rust and the dirt and the grime and all that. Yeah. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and I saw it my whole childhood, and I remember a couple times people broke into the B&O museum and actually graffiti historic cars and stuff, and I'm like, that's when I really got into graffiti. And I know Menards has theirs, but I don't think the graffiti matches the time period of the cars very well. It's like super modern graffiti, and then you get this really cool car with hot boxes on it. It's like I get it. I'm being a little picky here, but
you snob.
I'm just kidding. Because my whole life I've seen it, and then I've seen what these.
I agree with you 110%. I think the modeled graffiti on the modern era cars, I think that's cool because it's fitting.
Yeah.
I mean that kind of stuff I think is cool. But yeah, I agree on the old stuff. No, I wouldn't support that either.
Yeah, and then also seeing, if you guys ever go to the B&O Rare Museum, you'll see bullet holes in some of the pieces they have in the yard. I guess it's target practice. Oh, here you go, Del Hudson. Zach, cost. Can I highlight comments in here? No, I can only just put you. I'm not going to put Del.
$75. Oh, $75 if you send it. That's not a bad price.
That's not bad at all,
in my opinion. Because I mean, I know that's a lot of work. It's a lot of intensive work.
Matt's comment.
Stuff way over my head. What's that?
Matt's comment. Baltimore is shat hole. Whoa, bro. Now I grew up there. I can say what I want. That's why I left, and I deal guys. I deal with. I'm at the point now. It's like with when I work in Baltimore and stuff. I'm worried for my safety. I'm worried for my safety of my vehicle, myself. I want to come home in one piece, and it's scary. Even just, I know Rail Flight Matt has been to the Trolley Museum, and I've got other friends that have been there, and it's a great organization, great group of guys. But they told me like it's a little sketchy driving down there, and yeah, Matt works in Baltimore too, so it's when you see the wire and stuff, it's very hard to explain how real it is. And when you work down there and you hear things that I'm not going to discuss because the YouTube gets finicky when you talk about pow pows and you know all that stuff.
We're already in enough trouble.
Hey, it's fine. I mean, these gamer kids say all the 4-letter words in the book, and they're fine. Especially when they get like taken down in Call of Duty or something. But
no comment.
I just want to be safe. I want to be able to come home to a fiance and eventually, So I moved up. I moved to York, and it's mostly peaceful. I'll say that. I come home and I can see stars at night. I don't hear. The only thing we hear is the fire tower with the siren. And that's every town in America has that. So it's. I know Florida's nice too. Nikki loves Disney, so when I get $1 million from Amtrak, I'll be a DVC member. We'll be down to visit you.
We all know you're more than welcome.
Woohoo! Yeah, we have a couch
Got a
here.
place.
So you had a list of questions. I know that. I don't.
Oh man, are you ready? We want to get into that now, huh?
We can.
So yes, we did discuss doing some questions the other day for the show. We got some doozies. No, not really. Not Mike's.
They're asking what I'm drinking.
Salute real quick. Hope everybody's enjoying the show so far.
The horn should get deeper.
But yeah, we got some questions. I didn't have a whole lot of ones. I tried to pick out some good ones. Some of these are a lot of what I see over on my channel.
Okay.
So some of these I try and answer myself quite a bit, but I figured I'd share those too. And then some other ones I tried to come up with. But what made you go with 3-rail O-gauge versus more realistic 2-rail O-gauge?
There's
I get berated on my channel by quite a few people, especially in my track video I did recently.
That's okay. I'll tell you this. I like to have fun. That's the honest. Okay. I'm gonna get in so much trouble because I know Troy Iron Horse is a 2-rail guy, but he collects everything, and he's an MTH dealer, so he's cool. He's still cool. But no, I mean, okay. So I'll be honest with you. So I like to have fun, and everything fun is in 3 rails, and you get the 3rd rail for free. Hashtag GFW trains. So I did not steal that quote. I would say it's GFW's quote. But no, my first trains was a Lionel 248. It's actually at my dad's place. It's his. It's my great grandfather. So, stupid 3-rail track isn't realistic. Yeah, Dave. Gonna go stomp around outside.
Man, I recently did a track video and that popped up so many times, and
Oh my gosh.
man, some people take that serious.
Well, here's the other thing
Like,
too.
listen, I don't mean to knock that, and by any means,
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
it's cool stuff.
I've been doing 3-rail myself so long, like I
Yep.
don't even notice the third rail. Like it really, it's just it's there, but I don't even give it any mind. I guess.
When I go out rail fanning, I say, "What happened to the third rail? Where's it at?"
Yeah.
Unless I'm rail fanning a subway, it's like, "Oh, there it is." It's kind of off
Mm.
center, But no, I like that one, and I see what these scale guys get into. I'm gonna get in trouble with you guys. Look, I love scale trains, not the brand. Excuse me, the alcohol is starting to creep up on me, but I love scale trains. I love the way they look. I get into a lot of Weaver stuff. Like tonight, I'm running 90% scale. Other than this N&W consist that we'll never run. It's too loud for this. But um, honestly, I just see what these guys get into on the HO scale stuff, and they eat each other alive. And it's like, you guys are losing the point of the hobby. We're here to have fun and share, and not get into a contest over that's not the right rivet, that's missing this, that's not painted right. I have an FEC engine I did a whole review on, and in honor of George, a Florida Railroad dog, because he gave me an engine, and I said, you know what, I'll give him a shout out. And I've reviewed my FEC GP9s or GP7s or whatever. GP9s, they have the vents on the top, the cooling vents. So someone commented like, "Oh, those were never real paint schemes and stuff." I'm like, it's a beautiful set. I'm here to have fun, and that's with a lot of the 2-rail guys. I see them, instead of becoming part of the hobby and part of the fun and sharing, it becomes that's not real. Like Rivet Counter, that's a great. John mentioned
Yeah.
that. I run Rail King with traditional. I run traditional with Rail King, and I run Rail King traditional with scale. It doesn't matter. It's the
Exactly.
rides. So
Same way here. I have gotten big into the scale stuff myself lately, but you still see, well, you can't see them right now. There's post-war stuff still on my
yeah,
walls.
yep.
Traditional stuff running right, or traditional size running right now.
This
Like
whole
I get it. Everybody has their own preferred items that they like, and it's not to bash anybody, but there's no reason to bash somebody else just because they're enjoying it a different way.
yeah, I can't even see what I'm pointing at, but there's a shelf back there. The whole top layer are mostly post-war, minus my modern turbine from Williams, which is a post-war recreation. Is my first one. My dad bought me that for my birthday years ago because we didn't know what we were doing. He's just like, "Oh, it's a train and it's cool and you like it," and I said, "Sure." Yeah, I run everything up here. I mean, heck, even the Coca-Cola Bears get a ride around the track, once in a while.
There you go.
So yeah, it's like
All right, well, we still got a few more,
a
so
few
not
more.
to.
But what about why not 2-rail?
Huh?
What's your answer to that?
I mean, you pretty much just said it best. Like that's
Okay.
what I started out with.
Okay.
Because my very first set that I had experience with was my father's uncle's, I believe it was. It was
Mm-hmm.
an old Marks Army set. Came with the Marks track. Like that's the very first set that I remember. And then
That's
we had a Lionel Scout steamer that we played with, and I'm talking, I was like 4 years old, something like that, real young.
okay.
And then growing up, I did get a couple cheap Tyco HO sets,
I've
but
had we've all been there.
I didn't. The size of HO just doesn't do it for me. I'm a
Yeah.
big guy. I like big things, so HO was out, and
Well,
I was just always accustomed to 3-rail, and that's the predominant uh, model train O gauge here in America. I know 2-rail's big over in Europe and stuff like that, but over here, predominantly, it's all 3-rail.
but
And like I
Markland,
say, I've
Markland's
had it so long, I don't even notice it.
same. I mean, Markland, they make 3-rail Markland. And it's like ACHO. I mean, like that's cool too.
Yep,
And but it's expensive too. But did you ever? This is the question I have for that. Did you ever have a bean tender with the beans like chuff?
I did not. No,
Oh,
I,
okay.
I skipped a whole jet. I went from pre-war to Tyco HO, whenever the hell that was, And then my first O gauge train was one of the tenders you had a couple of years back. It was a Rail Sounds tender, New York
Oh,
Central fly.
oh, those are sick.
I
Those,
still have it, but something happened with the E unit and the board went finicky. I still have it, but I'm not spending the money to get it fixed, to be honest.
those tenders, I saw one at York for $300 because the sound
Really.
is so good. It's Rail Sound
It's
5.
amazing for a starter set engine. Now,
Yeah,
granted, you're not getting 4 chuffs per rev or whatever, but the sound set in that tender is just phenomenal for a
the crew
starter
talk.
set.
You don't get the. Are you guys ready to pool today? Oh, here we go! Like flying out,
Yep.
like let's go, guys. Let's get some
Mhm.
water in this thing. Like it's actual crew talk. The dispatcher sounds are real radio. It's like Lionel gave a crap. That's what's
Mhm.
another world. Um, that's why I'm like I'm praying for you guys who bought this Lionel Strasbourg 90. They had some guy out there with this giant Sony boom mic. That mic cost $10,000. I was a sound technician. A lot of you guys know I was in a band and stuff, but that microphone is like the do all. Like you go out to movie sets and they record. Those sounds better be perfect, like to a T.
Well, you might not like. I'm an MTH guy, and I know you
Right.
are as well. And I
Uh,
know you're not big on Lionel's crew chat and all that kind of good stuff, but you got to give it to Lionel when it comes to a steam engine sound set.
they're cool.
Nothing
It's nice.
that mic shows itself in the sounds of these modern day engines.
Until you hit the function 7 and what 2, then you're good.
Yep.
Sorry, you have to hit aux first on my old dinosaur.
I'm right there with you.
You know, then you get the. Are you guys ready to go? Ho, here we go. You know? I don't know. I'm just
Hey,
being.
man, I just work here. Leave me alone. No.
But no, my PS2 Decapod will just. It's like we're gonna run late today. You guys better hurry up. And they actually say like, I mean, real crew talk could not be even put on like rated X channel TV, but from what I've heard, like in real life, but they're all toys, but I'm just giving them a hard time. That's all.
Oh, that's a hot topic for another day. That was almost one of my questions, but we're not going to go into that one. All right. Next question. What would your dream layout, or as we spoke about earlier, your train garden be, and what would it consist of?
Well, first off, friends to run it with, of course.
Good answer.
That's the main thing. I love having people up here to run trains, and I. It sounds kind of weird, but whoa, layout just turned itself on. It's the ghost. Um, so I've had a few people up here, and it's kind of funny because I only have one TMCC remote, so I kind of have to pass the remote back and forth. Even running conventionally, I just run everything with the remote. It really helps with filming. But yeah, there's Dave there. So when Dave was over, just seeing people light up, like just running trains, they don't realize the hobby and stuff like that, and just being, part of that. That's most important. But honestly, I would like to have a similar style layout. I want to get something that build something that I can access each little part, not have like hatches or trapdoors. Or I know like Harry's got to walk on his layout to get to the wall and stuff, and that layout's amazing. But it's just like I've seen what people go through. Sean's layout's pretty accessible. Dave's layout's somewhat accessible. Just other channels and things. I've seen different track plans, and I'm just kind of like, dude, if something
Oh,
goes wrong, you know, you're climbing over.
out here on YouTube, it's just jaw dropping. Some of the work that they
Yeah.
do. I mean, seriously, like just awestruck. Like, how the hell did he do that?
Time, you know.
Yep.
But that's the biggest thing. I'd honestly want to go with a larger turn radius, do some more scenery, and definitely have a mountain with tunnels. That's another thing. And I've never had a layout with a bridge. Well, that's not true. I had the first layout up here had a bridge, but it was unsuccessful. I'd like to have a nice, like, nothing too crazy, just a nice bridge, double track. That would just be really cool. But that's pretty much my dream.
An elevated line.
Yeah, and have some grading. I don't want to kill my engines because I see what you know. I don't care what Odyssey speed control can do and all that. You're going to fry your little motors in these things. Now, if you get an MTH Pitman steam engine, you're fine. You're cranking, But some of these other engines, I don't want to burn them out. Just keep everything nice and level for the most part. So
I got a little 2% grade on mine. I haven't killed anything yet.
not yet.
Not
That,
yet. But I'm not running monster consist either, though.
yeah, not like 54 car coal trains.
Yeah. I just don't have the room for that, unfortunately.
I think the most I ever ran was, 33 cars, and then I burned up that saddle tank.
Yeah.
A little bit well, she's joining us tonight. Here she is. This is what's left of her. But everyone watching, so did a video on my saddle tank, did a review on them. Like, man, this thing can pull so many cars. Then all of a sudden, I see smoke shooting out the back, and I was like, and then
No more.
Oh, it was bad. Nikki came up. That's bad. When the girlfriend notices something, it's really
Hey,
bad.
fiance now, sir.
Oh yeah.
I got your back.
When she notices something that's really wrong, she's like, something's burning upstairs. I'm like, nah, everything's fine. Just see this blue smoke jetting out the back. I was like, no. But, there you go. But
All right.
are these your dream layouts that you have?
Absolutely not. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the layouts.
That was fast.
If I hit the Powerball tomorrow, I'm sure you've seen the garage in the background. I would kill to turn that into a train space, but
Yeah.
just the amount of money it would take to insulate it and convert it and drywall and all that good stuff. I mean, one day, maybe when I retire, if that'll ever happen, and I just got a bunch of time on my hands, but I'll live with what I have for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
But I'm the same. I'd like to do like a setup like you got, but I'd still have to climb on it to access everything. Like I'd like to do an around the room setup, but like make it at least 8 feet deep.
Okay.
But I'd still have to climb on it. Like you wouldn't be able unless I cut access points in it underneath and whatnot. But
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, my favorite ultimate layout, which I'm sure everybody knows about, is Norm Charbonneau over at Norm's Trains. Oh my goodness, his layout is just spectacular.
As you know, with YouTube and watching channels and stuff, there's so many friends and things I have to keep up with, and we both, we talked about it before. It's like can't keep up with everything going on, and the best thing to do is just pick up the phone. Like that's one thing I would say with like my YouTube friends. I'll pick up the phone to say, hey, what's going on? Like,
Yep.
and if they say, did you see this or that? I'll be like, no, I'm sorry, I've just been busy filming stuff and just hanging out. It's
You've been ignoring me. Don't lie. No, I'm kidding.
the worst. No, and a lot of you guys don't know this. So, actually, sorry, cat's spazzing out on the floor. So the first time watching Country Bunker Trains was actually on my living room floor when we were moving in. We didn't even have a couch yet. We had a TV and a really crappy entertainment system. And I'm sitting on the floor, and Nikki's like, "That guy's kind of goofy." And I said, "Well, the channel's awesome. He's built tubular track layout." And that was the first time I ever seen anyone on YouTube ever be proud about building a Menards tubular track layout. And that was it's all good. So
people that late. I had like pitchforks in my email. Why are you tearing that down?
I'll tell you, a lot of you guys in here, I know a lot of these channels, they've reached out or talked to me or just watching stuff. A lot of these guys run tubular. The biggest problem I had was just the gauging. There's not enough ties to like keep your rails separate. So if you try to, I know people say, "Oh, tubular kind of moves." You can flex it. After that initial flex, the gauge just,
Yeah.
and then your cars just kind of pop out. And that's when I dumped all my tubular. I gave it to my dad because he enjoys it, and he's just running a 4x12 traditional wood platform. So it's cool.
Yeah. No, I had a lot of fun with the tubular, and if I was still, I keep telling Tony over and over again, I wished to all hell that I could be completely content with just running post-war trains. I
Yeah.
really do. They're so easy, they're so simple, they're a lot of fun. I mean, I wish that just kept me happy and that's all I wanted to do, because that's what I would do. Just cheap tubular track, cheaper post-war engines, and when something breaks, easy to fix,
Yeah.
screwdriver, soldering iron, and we're good to go.
Yep.
But like
Yeah.
everything, I want more. I love the sounds of the new stuff. I
Yeah.
love the scale proportioning. So, like an idiot, that's what I chase.
No. No. I will say with whenever you get to York, you're going to see a lot of post-war that's out of this world expensive.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but a lot of it, I'll say a post-war. I was a huge. Well, I have the post-war pieces that I want, unless I have an opportunity to buy like. I really like post-war switchers. I think they did a really good job, and I think honestly, Lionel and MTH are still modeling their switchers after post-war switchers. It's still the same size. Like they're
yeah.
pretty close to scale. Even the rail
Mm-hmm.
are a little bit smaller than the post-war, like the 620, 624. I don't know the ATSF numbers with the bell ringers and all that, but those are so classic and they run so nicely. That's, you know, they're, yeah, like Tom just said, reliable and dependable. So I was just looking over there. Yeah,
Oh
you know,
no, you can't beat them. I was just rebuilding the E unit in the. Oh my goodness, which one? It was the Texas Special. I'm sorry, it was last week. Had a few drinks, but the Texas Special running around the track like I had the ZW wide open at 25 volts or whatever, and that
yeah,
thing was just.
yep,
I could have got away with just cleaning the E unit, but don't get me wrong, it was had me saying a few choice words while I was trying to
yeah,
put the fingers and
of
the E
course.
unit back together. But I
Uh,
mean, I'll take it over, this board and all that. But again, just the fun of the new stuff, you can't deny that either.
yeah, and I'll be honest with you guys. A lot of people ask me, like, I've had some people ask me, like, what's your collection worth, and what's this worth, and what's that. Honestly, it's only worth if you use it, if you run it, and you enjoy it. I'm not a collector. I'm a runner. So everything I have in my collection, that's one rule I made with myself. Everything in the collection has to run. If it,
Same here.
yeah, if it doesn't run, you get rid of it. Or there's only a couple engines that I have that they have problems. Like I have a Scale Hudson that's Williams. It's in the corner of the stairwell. And these guys have only seen it on the channel like once or twice because it runs horribly. It's got this tether from hell type of thing going on, and I like to straight wire the thing with ERR. And but it's going to cost me like I think I talked to you about. It's going to cost me like $600 to convert this $300 Hudson. It's beautiful, but is it really worth doing that? Probably not.
Yeah.
I can
I
just
mean,
spend.
it's all personal preference and personal
Yeah,
taste, and if it has any sentimental value. But in the grand scheme of things, no, not money wise, no.
my dad bought it. I ran a Scale Hudson on 031 and effed it up. My fault. So I did that as a kiddo. I was like, man, this train looks kind of goofy going around the turns. I read the box meant for 054 and larger. Oops. I, whatever.
There is two post-war engines I still am chasing. Not ready to purchase yet, but I got to get that 773 eventually.
Okay.
1950 version. Like that'll be like my F3s that I have now. That it'll get run very
Yeah.
very periodically, but just something to have on the shelf, and when I want to run it, I'll enjoy it. And
Yep.
I got to get some Canadian Pacific F3s. What's the number on those again? Forget the number. Got to
I,
get those.
those are sweet.
Yeah, I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
I don't remember half.
Salute again.
Oh no.
All right, but anyway, next question.
Uh-oh.
I don't. Do you ever deal with much pre-ordering? I don't know if you'll like this one.
No.
What engine do you wish to see? Well, that's this one. That's the next one. What engine do you wish to see manufacturers offer next that may potentially not have been done before?
Something that isn't expensive.
Well, that's a lost cause.
I'm just screwing with you guys. There's, well, I'll tell you this. So my local railroad, York 17, line or MTH made a bunch of Americans, but no one's ever modeled. I'll be honest with you, no one's ever modeled a an American engine that I'd buy, like a traditional or early American, like 440, that doesn't look like total crap. MTH made them. Well, there's okay. So I know a couple channels out there and friends of mine that have the promontory point set with the engines. They're beautiful, but they don't have sounds in them or something. I forgot if it doesn't have sounds or smoke unit. I think they have smoke units, but no sound. For the
Okay.
price you pay for that set, it's ludicrous. Like it's out of this world expensive. I think they're like $1,800 for both engines, and then you get the cars or something with it. I forgot. Um, I would like to see a decent looking American with that style engine. I know MTH made Strasbourg. I think it's what 80 engine number 87 or something. I forgot what it is, but it's an American they made. They also made it in Pennsylvania Railroad road names, but one of my buddies has one. It fell apart. But I like to see them do something like an old West set that actually doesn't suck. So,
That would be really cool.
so
No, I'd have to agree. That's something really cool to see.
like I'm not a huge Wild
I,
West fan, but for guys
yeah.
out like that, I'll tell you this: my first. This is the reason why I'm saying that too. I had a conventional Wild West set from Lionel. I wanted this thing my whole life because it had all these different cars and stuff, and they basically rehashed the NPC era. So the horses would stick their heads out the windows. It had the dynamite car. You could take these little buckets out. Inside was like stamped dynamite and the things. It had these beautiful coaches, and the engine sounded like a diesel. When I threw it on the track, it caught on fire. The transformer melted. The smoke unit actually caught on fire too. And it was a Lionel late conventional. There was Lion Chief out. I had no interest in Lion Chief. I still don't. I'm sorry, but 2.0 maybe, but there's
My
really
only.
you
Go ahead, finish.
I just don't like having multiple of these laying around. Like
Yes,
that's
and another one of the reasons I always loved MTH. So, like, I understand Lion Chief. I understand the product line. I never understood how it was implemented. Now, granted, they are, like you said, with 2.0, they're working on fixing that. But here's a cheaper line product and more of an entry level or intermediate level product, but you got to have its own remote to control it.
correct.
Okay, cool. Now they did start adding the universal remote a little bit later on where you could control, what was it, like 3 engines at a time. Yeah. Okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah,
MTH, like, they did it right. When you buy the cheapest of the cheap starter set, when you get all the way up to the premium, premier, high end stuff, it's the same operating system. They run the
correct.
exact same way from start
Yep.
to finish. All of them run exactly the same.
Or
Now,
they're
granted, maybe it's just a cash grab to get more money, which more than likely is what it is. But I
yeah.
never was big on that. But now, like I say, they are fixing that. They're with this 2.0 being having the ability to run under TMCC and stuff.
That's
That's
kind
how
of
it should have started out, I think, in my opinion.
exactly. I mean, I had my first set I ever bought on my own. My first job, I was a garden shop technician. I made crap money. Like I'm talking like $300 every 2 weeks. If you're lucky, it's a type of business you had to clock out at 39 and a half hours so you didn't get benefits. All this sketchy
Yep.
things from a first job. I was 18 years old and I bought, it was at MB Klein Trains, which is now modeltrainstuff.com. I drove across the street in Cockeysville, Maryland, picked it up, and it was an MTH rugged rail set that actually came with like really nice cars like this caboose right here. You know, and there's actually a crew figure up there, and it came with a tanker, a box, no, a gondola with crates in it, and the engine was upgradable. It was like PS1 up or PS2 upgradable. Just needed the card and some other stuff,
Yeah.
and the set still cost $450. But the quality of that set, excuse me, was so much higher than anything at the time I ever saw from Lionel. It had chuffing smoke, a fan driven.
Oh,
I
yep.
couldn't mix it up, and it did the four chuffs revolution thing, and it smoked out my basement so bad at my parents it set off the fire alarm every time, and then a whole house alarm. So every time I lit up this train, the ADT would call my parents, "Your house is on fire," you know. But I sold the engine at a train show for it held its value about $150. So I got the money out of the cars and the Z100 or Z1000 transformer too. Came with that. It was one of the best transformers ever
Oh
made.
yeah.
Uh,
Those bring premium nowadays.
they're still hauling $100 plus.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and of course, Lionel caught onto that idea, having a separate power supply with a breaker in the power supply, not the controller. So these crappy, wonderful CW80s that I love tearing apart and fixing. Lionel, you didn't hear that. There are fixable parts inside, but you didn't hear that from me. Just once you get your triangular screwdriver, you're set. So,
I didn't hear nothing, man. I'm just drinking over here, having a good time.
yeah. What drink? I mean, what are you talking about?
I know. I gotta go get another one.
I mean,
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Where do you see yourself in the hobby in 10 years?
A lot older.
Yeah, I know. I love that one.
No, that's an excellent question. Probably not at this house. We'll see. We'll see what's in the plans for the future, but it also depends. That I could work for Amtrak and be like, "Oh, I hate trains. Like they're the worst." But most likely not. I would say the same around the same collection, different space, different room, same state probably. I like PA. It's a lot of fun. You know, probably kiddos running around. Well, maybe not running. Maybe they might be running, but we'll see. Might be kids train sets up here. So or up wherever I'll be, but still the same old me with the same long hair, probably a bald spot up here somewhere, and
Hair?
yeah, somewhere. You know, we'll see how Amtrak works. My hard hat keeps on falling off. I'm shaving my head, so we'll see. But what about you over there?
10 years? I'll be here. I'll probably still be in this room. This layout will hopefully be done in that span of time. We'll stick to that.
Layouts.
I don't know. I think like a lot of people, I always wanted to open a train or hobby shop at some point, but in this day and age, it's just
I understand.
kind of lost cause. So I've given up on that, but I don't see myself going anywhere or progressing immensely. Hopefully a little bit bigger collection. Just enjoying it, having fun. Maybe we'll still be doing YouTube, maybe not. Who knows?
YouTube. We don't know. Honestly.
Yeah, you don't know.
And I'm not be like conspirator over here. There's lots of other platforms that are starting to come out that I've been debating on putting content on as well. And if Bald Nick, no thanks. Hey, there's the lady.
Hey, how you doing?
But yeah, honestly, there's lots of alternative media. If YouTube keeps up some of its things, some of the trains and things, they may not like it because of their beliefs of certain things. They might say, "Oh, it's pollution, it's whatever." If they get into that realm, I'm done. I'm done with YouTube. Right now, it's mostly what you have to watch everything you say. It's walking on pins and needles.
Oh yes,
and I like having the family friendly vibe because there are probably people watching that, or maybe like half my age, quarter of my age. You never know, but if they get into like you're promoting pollution for running smoke fluid or something stupid, I And you guys out there watching, you may say, "Oh, Nick, that's ridiculous." You never know with these policies coming out, um, or like they don't like the way something sounds. I don't know. I don't really know, but there are alternative media out there. Not TikTok. I'm not a huge fan of TikTok at all. But maybe like other alternatives out there. I can't dance very well, so and I'm also not. I'm not like an 18-year-old girl, so it's not going to work out for TikTok for me. I do have beautiful long hair. Then I'll turn around. Oh, it's a dude. Oh no! Like
Yeah.
all the
Well, I mean,
views.
if OnlyFans comes out for O-Gauge Trains, I'll definitely
Oh,
be there.
oh, yeah, I'll send, I'll send them coupler pics. Check
Yeah, exactly.
out this
Exactly.
knuckle coupler. Check out these hot shoes.
All right, next one. What is your number one piece of advice you would give someone new just joining or coming into the hobby?
Be yourself, please. Don't be fake. Please don't be fake. We can tell, and don't be a tool. Like just be real as possible. Just like you and I right here. This is how we talked on the phone last night. This is how we're hanging out. Maybe some other the lack of their four-letter words from both sides. Just, but no, just be yourself. Have fun. Um, that's one thing that's
Well,
driving me
hold up. What hobby are we talking? Are we talking YouTube or are we talking trains?
both.
Both. I
Me-
agree.
Meeting people out in the wild, and I've heard some crazy stuff, and it's your life, and it's all it's how you live it. And then I've heard some crazy rumors and advice with the hobby, and you just have to you know be yourself. You might be at a hobby shop and you hear some guy say, I like running this because it's my favorite. They could be like the bean tender on a NPC train that when let's just for instance let's just say if I had one and it fell apart as a kid, caught on fire, I'd say my advice would be to just let them enjoy what they have. Don't go up to them and say, oh, that's a hunk of this or that. Let them be themselves. If they like
No, I
it,
have
it's yours.
the number one rule of this hobby is that there's no damn rules.
There are no rules, and everything. It's art. It really is art. This is your world. This is my.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Well, this layout isn't very pretty, but.
Well, neither am I, but I'm married.
No.
Shit, something.
No, I'll tell you this. I've told this story a lot. The reason why I started a YouTube channel is some guy at a train show. There's a Greenberg show, Timonium. Let's say 5 years ago. I asked him a simple question. I said, "How are those engines doing those sounds?" Like I was amazed by DCC, and he said, "I don't know. Look it up on YouTube." And he walked away. He gave me the cold shoulder. And after that, I looked at my dad and I said, "I will never ever be that guy. If someone asks me anything about this hobby, I will be there by their side to give them my advice, what they need to succeed." And if I honestly, he could have said, "Hey, it's a little complicated. DCC is just a command system. There's something basic, not like one of these, like go away." But that's my advice. Even with YouTube, just be yourself. Don't have to say you know crazy stuff on YouTube.
Yeah,
But
I get quite a few, people reach out asking, well, how did you do YouTube or how do you do this or that? And honestly, I'm not a big channel. I'm not the one to be giving advice on any of that. Like, I appreciate it. I'm tickled and flattered that you feel that way, and I'd love to help, but I don't really feel like I'm the one you should be asking.
cool. I had you know, it's all good. I've had people ask me advice before in the channel, and I will tell them just be yourself, have fun. Have fun is important.
Yep,
Uh,
yep,
the other thing too, it doesn't matter if a million people watch a video. If one person watches, that means they believe in you, and it could be
yes.
a emoji middle finger on under a video as a comment, but that they watch and they believe in you because they clicked on it. But that's one thing. Just be yourself. Don't be you don't have to be trendy and all this stuff. I know there's been trends in the hobby of recent, and it's like you don't have to do that to have fun. In my opinion, just be yourself. Like I buy
Yeah.
everything and all that fun stuff. But yeah. I
Well,
mean,
thank you, Adventures of Lark. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I do appreciate your kind words, and thank all of you guys here in the comments. I
yeah,
am glancing at them here and there. We'll get to some viewer comments a little bit later on. We're just trying to get through some of these. Not trying to ignore any of you guys.
I don't know if I can read much longer. My eyes are starting to water.
Do you mind? Well, actually, go ahead. You mind reading through some comments? I need to
Uh
do a refill. See if you can answer some questions.
oh. Randy Jacob said, "Hey, love the hobby shop. You're right. Maybe Tony could give you a part-time job." Uh oh. Shots fired. Shots fired. No, I'm just kidding. Especially as blown. Instagram. I'm not much of an Instagrammer. Um, Nikki's driving him from work. That works. I can't answer that for Jub. Zach is asking Zach if he's going to the Pensacola train show. TikTok is awesome. I've never been on TikTok ever. Lots of railroaders on TikTok. I'll look into it. I just can't dance, guys. I can't dance. I think the key is being successful is being low to the ground and genuine. Exactly. Yeah. Just have just um, also networking with people, like going to train shows, talking to people. It's the most important part of this hobby, guys. We're the new generation of the hobby. Like a lot of people at train shows are either passing away or getting very old. They don't have. I don't want to say. Um, a lot of older folk aren't very tech savvy. I'm always learning about tech and everything. So basically, a lot of these older people are communicating by either showing up somewhere and word of mouth and things like that. So a lot of the older folk are passing away, but we need to carry the torch, keep this hobby alive. The hobby's Zach. What do you think? That's a good question for you. Do you think the hobby is well and kicking, or do you think it's dying?
Oh, we're gonna open that can of worms.
I will. Every
All
time
right.
people they're like, "Oh, the hobby's dying. It's
I
gone."
all I can say on this, as the hobby changed, yes, these are my viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
I've I'm a young gun myself in this hobby, only being in my 30s.
Okay.
Obviously, there is many folks. This was a banging hobby. Obviously in the 50s, the post-war period.
Yeah.
Has the hobby changed? Yes, it has needed to change to fit into the current times and to fit in with current trends and to keep people interested in the hobby. By all means, yes. Has it changed?
Yeah.
Has it shrunk? I do believe it has shrunk a little bit.
Okay.
It's hard for the hobby to compete with video games, the internet, everything else. Yes, it has shrunk a little. I'm not going to try and deny that. There's
Yeah.
no getting around that. Is the hobby dying or going away? No. I've been hearing that said since I've been around since the early 90s. Oh, the hobby's dying. The hobby's going away. And I've heard people from MPC, people back then in the 70s, oh, the hobby's dying. It's going away. It ain't dying. Is it changing? Is it morphing? Is it going through maybe a shrinkage and or growth spurt? Absolutely, but I don't see it going anywhere. As long as there's oddballs like you, me, people here in the chat, the
Yeah.
hobby's not going to go anywhere.
No, I'll keep it alive.
Exactly.
I'll say at York, you'll hear it. Whenever you go, you will see um, some older ladies and such, or gentlemen, and you'll run into them. They'll say, "Whoa, well, 10 years ago, we used to have all 10 halls here open. Now there's only 6." Okay, well, people die. People don't want to sell. We're in a very weird time in history. A lot of people don't have a lot of disposable cash, and so people aren't going to travel halfway across the country to a train show or across the country to spend that money and possibly take a risk. Like right now, a lot
Well,
of
yeah.
people.
At the times, I mean, we're pretty much entering a recession right now. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not like everyone currently has a bunch of spare money to spend, and if they do, trains
yeah,
aren't at the top of my list. To be honest, I love them, but
yeah, yeah. It's like you'll hear that a lot at York, and this is a different year. Like my first year, they had one more hall open. I couldn't even access it because I didn't have the ID or the membership. But honestly, I think York was very successful this fall. Was last year busier? Yeah, but we were in a different time. I'm not going to get into it because I don't get flagged on the YouTube. But things have gotten better. Last time I said anything to do with anything about Down with the Sickness, I got flagged on YouTube and demonetized for a whole live stream. YouTube took the stream down, and I didn't make anything off a Monday Run Day. So, and that was after me just saying things are getting better because I mentioned that. So I'm going to be very careful here, but things are getting better. Um, it was very busy last spring or fall. I'm sorry, fall, because I think people were just stuck inside all year round. They wanted to get out. We had people like GFW coming down from Chicago area down or whatnot. Midwest, I don't know exactly where he's at, but Midwest coming down, parking a trailer, hanging out with the guys, feeding people. You know, it's a great community event. But honestly, I would say I think it's not dead. I get tired of hearing that from the old. It's mostly the old people or the older. I want to say all the old people. I love older people. It's great hearing their stories and things, especially with railroaders. But I feel like it's the people that aren't on the technology. They're seeing word of mouth, going to hobby
Yeah,
shop. Their friends are passing away. Their shops aren't around anymore. I ran into that at Forest Hill, Forest Hill, Maryland. Actually, it's Maupass Station, Maryland, Pennsylvania Railroad Station. The gentleman there passed away recently. He had a train shop. My dad and I talked to him for like 6 hours. He was a GG1 mechanic. He worked for Amtrak. He was an electrical engineer for GE. There's freaking oodles and oodles of information from that guy. Then we went to another train shop. I went to one in Baltimore. The gentleman sold trains for 55 years, and his shop, he passed away. So these guys are just seeing their universe dying off compared to us, and then our fans and friends on the channels are seeing our digital side of it. So it's a whole. That's my opinion on it. They're seeing.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just changing at the times, and
Yeah.
some folks don't like change or aren't on board with that, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Jub, we'll get into that later, but no, I'm not going up to the Pensacola show. We'll talk about the other show here coming up here soon.
A swimming
Uh,
pool.
uh,
It might
the
be
swimming,
a swimming pool.
yeah. All right, let's see. What do we got here next? Oh, now we're on a roll tonight. Are you excited or disappointed for the move to using smartphones and or Bluetooth devices for
Yes.
new era command control
Yeah.
systems?
Yes. Because goofballs like you and I use our phones for YouTube.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Guess what? Shorts. I know some of you guys hate shorts. I know I have viewers that hate it. Too bad. I'm sorry. It's our attention spans are as humans we're our brains are rotting into shorts. But YouTube's going to monetize shorts in February. So you and I would probably be qualified for it. You have to have a certain amount of, you know what I mean, the rules.
Shorts kill me, to be honest with you. I know we spoke about this previously. I'm not a big shorts guy, and
They,
I don't like doing shorts. That's not my. It's not that I don't like doing them. It's just not. I didn't adapt to it early on,
it's
but
okay.
it's amazing to me how much reach those short videos have. And
Yeah.
as you just said, I guess it comes down to short attention spans and stuff like that. Those little 15-second shorts, the amount of people it reaches. And I
Yes.
mean, hey, I try to be that, as Tommy Z would say, component to help perpetuate the hobby.
Yeah.
I try to be that myself as well, as much as I can at least. So
Yeah.
I mean, if that's getting to other people and more views to see them, then yeah, I'm on board with that. I don't know how I feel about it being monetized for a 15-second clip, but
I will say that I'm not trying to brag. The first couple shorts I ever did, they went pretty crazy. I have one from New Hope and Ivyland. They're running a steam engine. First time ever seen. I set up My camera, the short looks like hell. That's my camera, like the ground's rumbling from this little steam engine going by. It has like 45,000 views.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's
that's what YouTube's pushing.
Yeah, and the subscribers I got from it, I'm not sure where or who they are because it doesn't really show you, but I think it has upwards of 300 subs or so.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was attempting to get monetized, so that's detrimental to the channel. Like 300, so that's a fourth. Well, you know what I mean, a fifth, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then I will say on our side of things, the real nice thing about a short is if you do one and it doesn't do well, I don't want to say flop, but it's not well received.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, hell, it was only a 15-second clip versus spending 4 or 5 hours on a video.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what a waste of time.
Well, the most popular video I've ever had, I released it Tuesday, filmed at the Strasbourg Railroad to catch up with 475, and I think we're at 12,000 plus views because it's such a viral topic right now. I was the only person there filming, but even something like that, reaching 12,000 people. I'm looking at the sub count and all that. Shorts are still surpassing the subscribers and the watch time. From a 12,000 view video, from that, it's a couple hundred hours of watch time. And the average duration, get this, is only like 3.5 minutes out of a 17-minute video.
Yep.
But fantastic. I'm glad people are watching. I'm very thankful. But a short will get thousands of hours and tenfold of subscribers. So it's something I'm looking into. And the other thing too is where are the shorts being broadcasted at? Because the wording I use is I've told lots of my friends with shorts, pretend you don't know English. So if you say steam engine 2025 or Lionel 2025, short's gonna go boof, way up. But if you say like MTH,
yeah, I've noticed that too.
Be as vague as possible.
It's very descriptive. It's not well received or viewed. I've noticed that too.
Yep. Nikki just said 13,000 views, so I'll be able to eat a hot dog this month. Thank you, YouTube.
Woo!
Buy a bag of peanuts. Hey.
Well, hey, when all of this is being said, though, don't get into gauge YouTubing thinking you're going to make money or think you're going to live off of, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. If you want to do it for the fun of it. Don't do it thinking you're going to hit the lotto and run away with a bunch of money because it's not going to happen. It's such as much as we love it, it's such a cliche or a niche hobby. I mean, it's just not.
Yeah, I would say like if I make anything every other month, it's enough to pay the electric bill, which is really nice. So you have to meet it's all the rules are public, guys. So it's not a big secret. You have to hit $100 to get paid.
What you put into it is what you'll get out of it.
Correct. So this month, because of that video, I might pay the electric bill, which is fantastic. So, that's it. You're not making millions here. I still work a full-time job. I still, have to feed the cats and buy more trains. Feed the girlfriend, fiance, But yeah.
Nikki, he didn't say that. Don't listen to him. A loaf of bread would be nice. Nikki said a loaf of bread would be nice.
Oh, come on, I pay the mortgage. No, it's cool. We joke.
Yeah, I know. All right.
She puts on my crap, so.
What is a must-have engine you need to add to your collection?
A mallet or a mallet.
Excellent.
I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
Doesn't matter. Like, I got to get one. So, what about you? What's up with?
For me, I want a Y6B. Something crazy. That's one of my top ones. I discussed. I'm not going to go over it here, but there's another engine that I've been hunting for years. If I do make it to you, I hope to find it there. Yeah, that would be the reason I go to York.
Okay.
But on top of that, the Y6B is a top one.
What road name is that? It's not Pennsylvania, is it?
Norfolk and Western.
Okay, so that's the big one that they had.
It's not. I don't think it's as big as the Class A.
Okay, so
Um,
like a Malay
it's a
or
little smaller,
okay,
but you're gonna have to look it up after that. It's a beautiful Lionel did one. I want to say back in 2014, 2015, somewhere around that. Um, it's a beautiful engine, but it's a quite rare engine to come across. And when they do come out, they're usually fairly expensive. I did see one on one of the websites the other day, but they
okay,
were one. It wasn't a Norfolk and Western true Y6B. I want to say they had it done up in a fantasy road name. So I could have picked it up a little cheaper and tried to do paint work and stuff like that, but I didn't want to go through all the headache. Not on an engine that costs that much money.
exactly. It's got to be real nice Clark.
Exactly.
You know.
So I'm hoping, and fingers crossed, because we do have. I'm real excited. I did order one of those Vision Line Class A's that are hopefully coming in next
Okay.
month. Getting real close.
Nice.
I'm super,
Yeah.
super. I don't know. I was never blessed. Some folks get into the hobby and they just want to model one railroad or one road
Yeah.
name. I wish I could be that way, but I'm not. But
Not
if
me.
I was, that my two would be New Haven and Norfolk and Western. Those are my favorites. I'm a
Well,
huge NW and New Haven guy.
I'll say if it's N and W, that also counts PRR, so that's cool with me because
Okay.
they own stock. I don't know if you knew that. So the
I did
Pennsylvania has
not.
30% stock in the N and W or something like that. So they actually interchanged coal trains in West Virginia. So that's cool. So you can technically run PRR in Norfolk Western.
Be pretty much one and the same.
Yeah, some purist is going to get PO'd at that, but you could also run B&O cars with like CNJ because they had interchange cars as well. New Haven interchange, I'm sure, with everything. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all good. I'm a dork, you know.
Hey, it's all good. I appreciate it. I never got. I don't know. I've always been into the toy or model aspect of it, enjoying it. Although I did recently, for my bachelor party a couple months ago, Tony, myself, and Mike, and a couple other guys, we went out and we did some train watching up in Folkston, Georgia. That was a lot of fun.
That's
That
awesome.
was last.
Okay.
It's not something I normally get big into, but that was a really good time. Having a few drinks,
Yeah.
standing by the tracks, and watching them, run by, trying to get some video.
Yeah,
It's
there's
not
a couple.
something I do every weekend, but I see the thrill of it.
You'd like Anola Yards. So when you come up here, let me know. We'll go. It's more exciting than Horseshoe Curve because there's so much more going on. Here's the thing: at Anola, you're guaranteed to see something move because it's a yard. You're sitting in a yard and you're seeing heritage units all day. You're seeing
that would
engines.
be that would be
It
cool.
like the Operation Lifesaver is always there. The Lackawanna. I've seen. Like I'm not one of these guys. Like I hate to say this. I'm not a huge fan of modern diesels, especially the GEs, the General Exploders. You know. Yeah, I know. I
Me
like my
neither.
but you'll see EMD stuff. You'll see like SD70s, Aces, GP38s, GP40s, SD35s, SD40s. The good stuff you don't see every day.
Yeah.
And Heritage. So I've seen the Lackawanna, the Wabash. I actually saw an SD70 with a Conrail door on the side of it that was not original. So this is goofy stuff you'll see
Mm-hmm.
because they have the engine shop there too. So Nikki likes going there. We'll go to Dairy Queen and then we'll just go up to Railroad
And
or watch.
Nikki, don't worry, I already hassled him at least once or twice earlier in the show about that. She said you hadn't transitioned from calling her girlfriend a fiance yet. Don't worry,
Sorry,
I already for that earlier.
but at that point it'll just become wife, and then I'll call her fiance. So I'll be behind work. We'll catch.
It is a change. Sabrina and I, we've only been married for a couple months now. Like,
Yeah,
it's not hard, obviously, to say, but you do catch yourself. Oh yeah, that's my wife. Yep.
yeah. It's like ah, you see the ring on your hand.
I know my sister Heather. She keeps giving me grief in my recent videos. She's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I see you when I'm like holding up a car or something, doing that." She's like, "Oh, I see you modeling that ring." It's like I'm not trying to model the ring.
No, I bought Nikki a custom ring. It's my great grandmom's stone, and it saved me about 2 grand, which is fantastic. Because as a broke state employee as myself, I ain't got no money for that. So it's like, no, it's cool. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
oh yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Uh
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
oh. Well, you got to have track before you can run a train. So
I'm just BSing you.
an
All right.
analogy.
All right. I know you currently have TMCC,
Yeah.
obviously, and we kind of talked about it last night. But do you plan on adding DCS or Legacy to your layout or train garden at some point?
If I hit the Powerball, yes.
I get.
um, Troy's got those little controllers, the remotes. He said it's only good for certain PS2 and 3. So I don't know what PS2 and 3 models I have, but that's the closest thing as of right.
Yeah, Explorer.
Yep.
Okay, that would
It's
be fun. That,
yeah, but I think all my
although,
PS.
all right, guys, while I got you here, we do got to give him some grief. We got to get this man a big articulated steamer. We talked about this last night because we were looking at some engines. You
Yeah.
know, he was looking at diesel. I told the guy, hey, look, you did all the work. You got the big curves. It's time to get a big girl now. We got to see something big running around that layout. So
Other
y'all
than,
get on them.
what do you mean you don't like this? I mean, come on.
Oh, I love that. But think of, oh,
I didn't
how much have you
taste like plastic. Take it back. No, I didn't actually lick my train. That'd be gross.
So what would you add first, DCS or Legacy?
Oh, I hate Legacy. I'd probably go DCS.
All right, I'm not opening that can of worms. I still got to add Legacy to mine to answer that.
I just don't like the fact that you go from something like this, which is already kind of awkward in your hand, but it's comfy, to that big thing, and they expect you to put it on a lanyard to carry around your neck. It's
I
I'm
hear you.
5 years behind, but I love it. This thing is a viewer and a good friend of mine, Train Seekers, gave me this system. I didn't have the command brick to run it with, but he gave me 2 power bricks, 2 receivers, or um, oh shoot, what are they called? The command. I forgot the. Basically, that receives a signal from the remote. So I had 2 command bricks, 1 remote, and 2 power bricks. And him just giving me that just meant the world, because then I could at least get to that next step compared to just sitting at my desk running with my MRC dual, which is a great transformer. I think that's a sick transformer for anyone. I run my accessories on it. It puts out 14 volts accessory, which is fine. You won't burn up your Lionel accessories and lights. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with this remote till it fries, and then
Hey, and I can definitely admire that. I got one here too. It's
yeah,
a great system.
the TPC works that you sent. So that without that too, I wouldn't have a layout. So it's awesome, man. So thanks for that.
And I guess I didn't really answer that previous question.
Oh
But coming back to it with the modern day Bluetooth and all that,
yeah,
I'm one of the old timers. I'm not on board. I like the
this,
remote.
I need this so I can use my cell phone to record. So
Yeah, I've been looking at trying to pick up what is it, a 993 remote, not the 992, the main one, because
yeah,
I'm thinking of getting the base 3, that getting it on order, and then just picking up the expansion remote to work it with it. Yeah, would I miss out on some of the features? Sure, but I love having a remote. All right, what is your favorite type of rolling stock to run and or pull?
oh oh God, this is the hardest question you've asked all night. Well,
I'm trying
well.
to round it out. We're getting on 10 o'clock. I know some people got to get to bed.
Nah, everyone's off tomorrow.
Well, we're lucky enough for
I haven't even ran a train yet.
You're slacking, man. This thing's been putting in work the whole time.
I know. Hold up. Let me see this thing. Just because, I don't know. And I got the sound car hooked up. It's gonna be like, you know. Let's see this thing. I'll turn. Hey, quiet down over there. There we go. Come on, come on. All right, that's kind of quiet. I don't know if you guys can even see that thing in this angle. Oh, that's gonna drive you guys crazy. All right, it's fine. It's fine. We run trains every week, anyways, so we're having fun. But what was your original question? So it was rolling
What is
stock.
your favorite type of rolling stock to run or pull?
Shoot.
Passenger or freight?
Tankers. I love tanks. But as I got older,
I just mean passenger or freight cars, not necessarily exact style of car.
oh, I'm gonna give you the exact style. I love I
Okay,
love I love box cars.
same here.
Because you can just fit so much stuff. Like here, for instance, getting up for the first time. I think the floor is moving. Um, this car here is a MTH. This is a Rail King car, but the graphics on it are just spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh, it
can fit
looks nice.
so much on a box car. This is super rare. It's Van Curler Coffee. Um, it's just a beautiful car. I love bag of coffee. It's like just the graphics pop, and I feel like with a lot of other cars, you don't really get the chance to do that. Maybe like
Mm,
a Morton Salt car. It's got the babe on it with the umbrella, but or a Domino Sugar. You know, those are kind of cool. But honestly, I like these. I like box cars, and then the most unique box car I have. Give me a second. I can put this back in line. Um, let's see. This is a K line car. This one actually lights up. This is a Lighthouse Seafood, and this thing is just amazing. The amount of detail,
ah, that's cool.
and the doors open. It's even the bottom. I mean, they stamped all that stuff in there, and then the lighthouse lights up over here with an LED. So just box cars because you can fit all the cool stuff. Um, my favorite passenger cars, just because you mentioned passenger or freight. So these are my favorite freight cars.
No,
Uh, you know, uh,
and I'm the
passenger.
exact same way. I prefer freight cars, and I love box cars. I've
Yeah.
said it before. My favorites are actually those new Lionel 60-foot box cars. I think those things are spectacular. The couplers suck; they're terrible,
Oh,
but the cars themselves are awesome.
like this is an old one. This is a 50 foot, I think, or
Is
48, whatever. B&O automobile. So the post-war version of this is like this big. But no, I got these. These are from like the '90s. But no, I just love box cars. They're just fun. My favorite style passenger car, I'd have to go with. I'm not a huge streamlined passenger car fan because they have to kind of fit with a set type of thing. Like I like
Mhm.
Bud cars a lot. Like Bud made a lot of stainless steel corrugated cars. They're just beautiful. But I'd say my favorite are probably like the heavyweights or the Pullman style
Yeah,
because they just have that uh, 1930s, 40s vibe to them. Like the
feel
after that, you know, they got some personality to them. So there you go.
good stuff.
So yeah, also like coal cars, but that's or hoppers.
I've
That's
been
that.
big into those. I just recently picked up a good amount of these MTH ones for that
Okay.
class that's coming.
Uh oh.
Like I said, you guys know how much I enjoy the big stuff. I know I
Yeah.
said this in the video, but these little 2-bay MTH
Oh
hoppers,
wow.
these things are spectacular.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
out.
here, hold up. I got you. Um, shoot, where is it? I gotta find this hopper. This is MTH as well. My buddy Train Seeker sent this to me, and it's yeah, but it's got sprung trucks and separate detail and stuff on here. But this is Rail King as well. I mean, they just do a crazy good job on these cars.
They do.
Like I have the K line ones that are beefier than the Lionel. It's like there's an ore competition. Like the Lionels are real thin and crappy, and then you get the K line, they're taller and not as boxy trucks. And then you get into like the MTH, it's like get out of the way. This is
Mm-hmm.
cars. They don't tip, you know. Put that up here.
Slide Cat, I know they do look a lot better with the real simulated coal loads in them. I don't know, the MTH ones, they're not horrible, but you are absolutely right. I forget there's a guy on YouTube that just recently did putting real coal loads in them.
And it wasn't me, but that's mine.
And I would like to. No, this gentleman, he put in foam and then put coal on top, but he built it outside of the car, like cut the foam to size, painted it, and then put coal on top. They come out real nice. I got foam to do it. I just got to pick up some paint and some coal.
This is a Lionel one, I believe, but it's from 19. Usually they have a date on the side. I want to say like mid to late 80s, but this one's got a real coal load. There's like actual full of coal. I took a grocery bag, cut the bag out. Well, actually no, took a grocery bag, the coal in, and then made a mold out of the grocery bag and let it dry overnight. So, grocery bag in. That's just the plastic, and then I filled it with the coal stuff, mashed it down, sprayed it with the denatured alcohol, let it sit in, then Elmer's glue over the whole thing, and then when it dries, you take an X-Acto blade and just cut around the edge, and then you tuck the bag underneath with an X-Acto blade. You don't even see it, and there it is. And it's the cool thing is, it doesn't fall out. Even though always, you get some stragglers. But,
of course.
But it's got some weight to it compared to, just doing the top foam. Now they're not top heavy. Sometimes you'll see the top ones. They'll do this with my ore cars and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was a fun project. Got the coal for free. It's the bonus of living in Pennsylvania. There's coal everywhere. So, same with.
All right. Before we get to our last one, do you mind reading some more comments? I need a refill.
Oh, another one. And
another one. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. I gotta eat some crackers here. All the alcohol is going in my head. Received a K-line. What was that? Received K-line. What'd you get? K-line with a real coal load. Very sweet. Saw that Zach. Oh, cool. The video. Layout is lit. I agree. Got two layouts too. Which one are you talking about? They're both pretty cool. You can actually run the train. Actually, we'll run the. Well, you can't even see that one. But give me a second, guys. Love your shirt. Oh, this one's I Dream in O scale. So, I'll get you guys rolling around for a little bit till Zach comes. Oh, shoot. Forgot to take the other cars off the track.
What'd you do? Run away?
No. I need to take my back pill. I'm just kidding. It's Christmas season almost, so I can say those jokes and see who gets them. But now it's just my Lackawanna stopped it. It loses signal if there's any dirty track spots, so the whole thing just shuts down. It's an Odyssey, so it's got Odyssey problems. So it's all good. It's all good. But
All right.
it's cool.
The most important one. Are you ready? Steam or diesel?
Steam.
My man, salute.
Because there's a diesel shortage, now we can run Steam all the time.
Yeah. That was a hard one. I don't know. The transition era diesels, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I like vintage diesel. Like I said earlier, yep. Modern diesel. Some of these kids out here in these railfan places, if I go to Makunji, which is an old Reading 2-track mainline, it goes from, I believe, Philly to, Harrisburg to Philly. The line runs like out that way. It's east-west line, whatever. And it comes out, and these trains are flying through there. These kids will say, "Oh, that's an AC, H, whatever." I'm like, how the heck did you see that? Like, all the engines look the same. Now, unless it's like an SD40 or SD35, I don't know. Usually it's like SD40 or GP38. Those are the only modern diesels you'll see, or vintage modern diesels you'll see today. Basic way to say is SDs are 6-wheel trucks and GPs are 4-wheel trucks. But these kids pick up on it. They know, oh, did you see that AC44AH? I'll be like, what the heck? How did you tell? Other than it being painted on the side window, I just can't get behind it, you know? Great example I have, my Ace is sitting on the floor, and I've got an SD70M. They look exactly the same. I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, same here.
Well, with Steam, there's a 90% chance, you know. You can do a wheel count no matter what. You can't be wrong at Steam. Oh, it's a 460.
Yeah. No. And even from my point of view, like I say, not being a huge rail fan and not knowing it all, like, and I've said it in previous videos, I've got a couple, SD70s, a couple other, Dash 8s and whatnot.
Yeah.
But to me, at least here on the layouts, I said it before, they look like a big rolling brick.
Yeah.
Pulling the rest of the stuff. Versus, a big Challenger or a big, I got the Unshrouded J running by. Like, that's a sexy, appealing engine. And then you got this big, I'm looking at the Wabash right now, gray and blue heritage brick that's running by the layout.
Yeah, and the price for some of these diesels, it's been the same principle for a diesel, I'd say, for, 50 years? You got a vertical motor sitting on a chassis. The only thing that changes are the electronics, and the electronics are 90% the same from when TMCC came out to Odyssey. Like, then you're paying the big bucks. Like, I see these giant, what's the UP one that everyone wants, that giant thing? I don't even know what it is. I think it's like the largest diesel ever made that UP came out with. But
the DD40?
That sounds about right.
I got the DD35, but not the 40.
Okay. I knew that was a newer thing. People were getting that. And it's like,
oh, no. Well, that's I believe the DD40 44 or whatever it is. I think that was right after the 35, like back in the 60s or whatever. But as far as like new, that I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, someone said Veranda. Anthony mentioned Veranda. The Veranda turbines are cool, but they're historical. It's the bird burner, as they called them.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. No, the Veranda would be that's another awesome piece.
But they're pretty much steam engines when you look at it. Or
yeah. Steam generator.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of modern diesels. Like, I don't want a huge collection of modern. I like my favorite diesel. Oh God, it's between a GP30 just because the way it looks, the hood, it comes down to the cab. I've got one of those Seaboard. I had an opportunity to buy a Conrail, but the sounds were exactly the same as my Seaboard, and I wasn't too impressed with the Seaboard. It's a PS2, but the horn is just really abrasive. It's like a Southern horn. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And also like GP9s and 7s, but they're pretty much like 7s, 9s, and 10s are kind of interchangeable because railroads would upgrade them as they progressed. So those are probably my favorites. Between that and a GP30, um, nowadays everything's pretty much a GP38. That's like I said, the vintage diesel you'll see, SD40s, GP40s, GP38 2 the dashes get me too. Um, Pretty much everything you see now in a class one's a -2, meaning it's probably been hinker tinkered with. I don't get it, but I still can't tell. Yeah, I'm like someone would say, "Oh, it's a GP38 2." I'll be like, "Okay, whatever," you know. So, but if you want to go
All
further,
right.
E units are cool.
Oh yeah, I love I got a set of E8s. Those are beautiful.
Yeah,
I'd love to get some of the what is it, the E6s or E7s with the square windows on the side. Lionel just recently did those too. Those are really cool.
those are 7s.
Sevens, yep.
I got chewed
And then I
out.
think what was the one where it had like the snowplow looking front end? Like it was at a very drastic angle. Was that E6 or E5 or whatever it was? Those are really cool.
I think 6s had shoot. 8s have circle windows. 7s have squares. I think that's all the knowledge I have on E units for you for the night. The only reason I know that I got chewed out in a comment because the E7s I have, Bachman screwed up. They put circle windows on the first gen, and they recalled them and they put squares back in.
Oh no shit.
I don't know. Thompson FM Train Masters are great. I have a Train Master sitting here, but
Train Masters,
cool. Fairbank. You know, yeah, you got my TCA Master of the Trains right here. Shoot, what did I kick over? Oh, I kicked over the whiskey. Oh no. There you go.
Very cool. I had a couple. Baby. I had the original post-war one, and then I had a MTH P2 Virginian, but I ended up selling it back. The cool thing about that Virginian, although it was a premier model, it was done up just like a post-war model. Oh. So it had like all the premier features, but still kind of a traditional look to it.
That's like this.
Yep.
This is a TCA collector special that I bought on trains with the freaking Z. It was like $200. I was like, I have to have it. Whatever. It works kind of, you know.
Nothing wrong with that.
The horn's not loud enough. Like here, I'll fire it up. I gotta turn my block track on. But let's see. This is the horn on that engine. Well, not that's the Camelback.
Very nice.
Engine. What number are you? 8005. That's the horn. That's all you get. That's all she wrote. But yeah.
Well, that's all the questions that I had. Do you guys have any questions for us? Try and answer some viewer questions real quick.
We got 55 people. I'm sure you all have at least one question. Nothing too crazy, though. Lackawanna John's got...
We're all amongst friends. It's all good.
Yeah, no worries. Your buddy helped design the TCA set. Tell him to make the horn louder. Fix the horn. Mark said, can you use HO scale DCC on O scale? No, I don't believe so. But
not from factory.
I thought DCS works with MTHHO, doesn't it?
I'm sorry.
Does MTH work with HO?
Well, yeah, that's a given. Yeah, they have a 2-rail configuration in DCS. But I don't know. Is that what they mean?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I guess you can say that MTH would work on DCC in a 2-rail configuration, but
yeah.
just that it would work all along all of O gauge.
Okay.
Del, do I have any marriage advice to give? Not
Uh,
be truthful, be loving. I don't see that being an issue with y'all.
no.
Randy, I'm loving it. Thank you for asking. It's been doing great. It just passed 4,000 miles. It's been a
Oh,
fun car.
wow.
Actually, you know what? I am quite proud. If you care to listen, so me and you were talking about this the other day, and I'd pull it up, but of course I'm using my phone for this. I spent many years.
Yeah.
I used to own a Bluesmobile, as some of you or a lot of you might know, and I sold it a few years ago. Well, the car popped up in one of the Bluesmobile pages that I'm on Facebook. It popped up earlier this summer, and I knew it was my car, and I hadn't seen it since it left. The last picture I have of it getting on the auto transport out front.
Oh
Well, I
my.
saw the car earlier this summer, a picture of it. I said, "Oh, isn't that cool?" You know, I was just happy as hell to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to a week ago, and even Nick sent me a link to it. My car is on Motor Trend over on
I had
Bitchin'
no idea.
Rides.
I was like,
It
dude.
popped up.
Like,
I said, "Holy crap!" So of course I don't have the Motor Trend app, but of course I had to buy it on Amazon. Oh my god, it's not my car anymore, but it's my car. It was so cool to see it on a big show like that. But if you guys are interested, if you go to Motor Trend or if you have Motor Trend, I think it's Bitchin' Rides season 9, episode 5. They did a whole episode on it. I have a few choice words for some of the stuff that was done, but it was really cool to see it.
oh my gosh. Zach, just letting you know, YouTube wants me to insert an ad right now. I
That's
don't even.
up to you.
No, I don't want to do that. That's rude to the viewers. Like,
Yeah,
it's giving me
I,
suggestions for this new software. I'm like, I'm not inserting an ad, so
yeah. No, let's roll on. We're
yeah.
just having fun.
How many tires have you burnt out in the scat pack?
Not any yet, and I'm hoping
Not
not to. Those tires are expensive.
oh, I'm sure.
Can we go walk around? Yeah, let's finish some other questions real quick because every time I mess with the camera, it acts a little goofy. But I can do a walk around here in a minute.
You found the magic spot in the room.
Yeah, I know. My Wi-Fi bars are only at like 2. I'm trying to stick to it.
Oh, geez.
Somebody asked the Marks train set you got. I did not. I have not got any missing pieces yet.
Oh,
I just haven't spent much time on it. I do need to. I need to get the caboose for it.
okay.
I've been in the middle of building shelves for the train room. Excuse me. I need to get a shelf built specifically for that set.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I was gonna say I have a question. So, if you could, so would you ever change your? This might open up a can of worms. Would you ever change the track that you use, or would you just stick with Realtrax?
I would change it. I
Okay.
wouldn't change it layout. If I ever hit the Mega Millions like we talked about and built that layout out in the garage, it'd be Atlaso.
Okay.
I'd love to try out it.
Okay. I would stick to. Well, obviously not fast track. God no, nope. I can't. After seeing what my friends go through, um, I just stick to it for now until it like dries up. Um, yeah, I just that's one
No,
question.
I love Realtrax. Don't get me wrong. There's a reason it's here on my setups.
No, same here, and it ballast like that was like I asked you yesterday. I was like, "What are you going to ballast in between your track?" I mean, if you do, here you have something to look forward to.
No, I know it turns out beautiful.
Like,
you know what? One thing, because I did a video on track,
yeah,
MTH tracks will take ballast so much better than fast track because fast track the ties are like so
so close.
thick. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Wait, hold on. I'll get you guys over there. Oh, come back. There you go.
it is. It's beautiful.
Thanks. But it's
You do
like,
such great ground cover.
oh, it's fun. You just put green stuff everywhere, and then when you sneeze, it flies everywhere. Like, none of this is glued down. Are you kidding me? That's like one of my friend's layouts. He's like, whenever you don't sneeze, I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, none of it's glued down. Like,
I couldn't imagine doing it without glue.
I went through, oh my god, I think 5 gallons of Elmer's school glue on the last layout. Between everything, this layout is 1.5 gallons, and that's everything. I'm talking like ballasting, the scenery, like the trees, this road. This is like a ballast road. I don't actually. It's pretty loose, but it's not near the train, so it's not going to suck it up.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people will say, um, do not ballast your track because your train will suck up the ballast. There's ways to glue it down. You can do it.
As long as you glue it down, you're good.
Yeah. Like things, I've been tearing apart my engines for years. Like this afternoon, I tore apart the K4S. I didn't want to. I wanted to run it tonight just because it's pretty and Pennsylvania heritage over here. But no ballast is sucked in the gears or any of that. Everything's.
I do before. What was it? I want to say not this last time, obviously, but the time or the second time last that I redid this layout behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I just used regular kitty litter, the cheap kitty litter that I got from Walmart.
Yep.
And I didn't glue it down. I just placed it around the track. And actually, I didn't have any issue, but I was on Realtrax, so it's kind of raised up above it. And that worked good. But for anything, that was only up for 4 or 5 months. For anything long term, yeah, I wouldn't. It definitely would have had to been glued down.
Yep. I think you'll suck more stuff up if you're running traditional tubular on a wooden floor, like during Christmas time. And you have pets and stuff. You're gonna suck up more hair and such in that aspect compared to just running your normal table ballast with things. And I know a lot of guys will say, "Oh, don't do it; it'll suck it up." But trust me, I wouldn't run my pre-war if I was afraid of it destroying itself.
Yeah,
that's just my
the rose jewel. Not to cut you off.
Oh, that's
trying
cool.
to. All right, so let me see if we can flip the camera around. Am I good? It's coming through.
Are you doing a tour?
Well, he's asking about the ZWs, and somebody wanted to do a tour, so we'll do one real quick. But is it coming through? Everything's good?
Yeah, you're not upside down yet. Sideways, so.
All right, so the Rose Jewel asked, what are the ZW's power on the layout?
Everything.
I've had to move stuff around because the first fixed voltage port on my TIU is acting kind of goofy. But this side of this ZW actually powers the number one port going into the TIU. So this gives the TIU power. This one powers this outer track and this second inner track. You can see the caboose is on now. Wow. Whereas if I pull it back down, obviously power gets pulled down. Whereas before, this side, the left side of the first CW, used to power up the TIU and just the outer track. But since that output of the fixed voltage on the TIU is messed up, I no longer use that. Now I got both of them hooked up to the one, I think it's variable voltage, 1 or 2 on the TIU. This one, don't quote me because I don't remember exactly what ports are powering which, but this handle on the ZW powers the innermost 054 loop. You can see the lights on the New York Central Hudson going on and off. And then this one powers the upper loop that we're running on.
Nice. So you're using
Pretty
DC.
easy and pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
All the Menards buildings, of course, have their own power supply or power source. Basically, this half of the layout is powered by an old Lionel starter set. Actually, that New York Central starter set we were talking about earlier, the New York Central Flyer.
Yep.
And then this half over here is powered by an old Lionel KW
Wow.
that powers all this up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all under the layout. I'm not getting that far into it.
You're not gonna crawl on the floor for us. Come on.
Yeah, that's not happening. But yeah, that's this layout, which I'm sure many of you seen many a times. If you haven't, come check out my channel, Country Bunkers Trains. I know a lot of people love the moon. That was actually Sabrina's. I stole that. That was a Christmas present for her one year, and I said, nope, that's going to the train room. And then excuse the mess. But over here, again, if you've never seen, this layout is powered completely by powered bricks.
Nice. Okay.
It's not. It used to be pretty, but since we're redoing the layout, it is no longer pretty. This one is all powered bricks.
Cool.
When I was in its tubular tracks day, each one of these powered a line, but obviously that's no longer. So we're in the middle of rebuilding. But currently, both lines that are on this layout are powered by the Z1000, nice. Which the TMCC / Legacy command base is hanging out on top of right now.
That's awesome.
And you guys, I'm sure you guys have seen this layout. It's empty. It's naked. There's not a whole lot going on with this one. Everybody loves the clouds, which I'm very appreciative of. I love them as well. Well, I still got to put a fancy switch. We can plug it in.
What, the thunderstorm?
Well, this plug powers the whole layout at the moment. I still got to get fancy and put in a power switch.
Just one plug?
Just one plug. Yep. It goes over. My plug-in's right there.
Oh,
and then it comes over here to a feeder and just feeds everything at the moment. Wow. There's another plug down over here I'm going to use in the future.
Okay.
That's the downside of this house. This is an addition, so there's only a couple plugs in here.
Well, like a 15 amp circuit.
Yeah. Well, hey, I haven't. I'm amazed. I haven't blown nothing yet. I think there's 2 circuits in here. The first layout's running off one. Second one is over here, so it's split half and half. But yeah, we showed off earlier in the show. This is what I was working on today.
Oh yeah,
just trying to put in some hills and whatnot. We did do some shelving.
Ooh.
The Santa Fe set has a shelf now.
Oh man.
Some older stuff. We got a new shelf over here for our 21-inch passenger cars.
Awesome.
Excuse them. And then the last shelf we did was up here.
Sweet.
Right now, I just got the MTH cars up there. That usually I have the military trains on, but they're out running right now.
Oh man, that's awesome. Should I do it of this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me grab the. I have to unplug.
Hold on, before we give everybody a headache, let me get situated. That way, we're both not moving.
The good thing is I can hear you on the phone, so if I walk around with the phone, it's not gonna be so crazy. Art. So real quick, that's actually a really good question. What do you use to shoot YouTube? Video camera or phone? So, Art, for me, I use my main camera for videos now is a Sony ZV-1 or Z1. It's not cheap, but I'm telling you, it's a great vlogging camera. The audio is freaking awesome. It doesn't clip out. If there's a big steam engine leaning on the whistle, I'm not clipping out. I used to use cell phones a lot until I needed a camera. I needed to just buy a camera. But then I use an Osmo Action 1 for all the ground shots. Tomorrow, I'm going to be drenched using the Osmo Action because it's waterproof. But yeah, I think, you use your phone, right? Right, Zach?
Yeah, everything. do is with what we're doing right now, the phone.
Yep.
Now, obviously, I'm using the front-facing camera or face-facing camera right now, so
Yeah.
you got to give modern day iPhones credit. Like
Oh,
the cameras on these things are just like astounding.
I do all the
And,
thumbnails.
yeah.
And now I edit. I think I talked to you about this. So guys, anyone aspiring YouTubers, I've done everything. Every video I've ever done is through iMovie, and now 90% of my movies or videos are done through iMovie on the phone. I take all that footage. I've got 100 or 200 and whatever gigs I have, 200 plus gigs. I throw all the footage on the phone, and I splice and dice on the widescreen of the Pro Max. So
Are you?
my normal live setup. I have a Realtrax 720p whatever camera, and it looks all right. But honestly, a lot of you guys say, "Oh, the phone looks better." When by the time I'm done doing all this,
There's something about these phones, man. I'm telling you.
they're magic.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it. I've got an old GoPro, like GoPro Hero 5, that I try. That's what I use for the cars. And you get this beautiful 4K footage from the phone. And then you go to like 480p GoPro 5. It's like crap. And that's an actual camera.
Yeah.
Granted, it's old, but still.
It's all good. But I'll give you guys a tour. I'm going to flip you guys around. So this layout was basically built to the room. I know a lot of you guys were asking me, can you expand? Not really. But this is going to be the layout of the house right now. So, like, bear with me. I got to carry the tripod. It's like carrying the Olympic torch around the layout right now. But for anyone that hasn't seen the channel, basically, we run a 2-track main. It's just a loop. And then I decided to build a 2-track yard just to really hold engines and just kind of keep them here for live streams or whatnot, because this is a dead track or it's a block track. So I go down here. A lot of you guys don't see this stuff. Whoops, I got to lower the legs on here, or here, I'll just unclip it. Huzzah. There we go. Underneath here, you guys never see this stuff. This is my control board, and these are my accessory switches. This is for block track 1, so now the track's hot. Block track 2, my town lights, my auxiliary lights, which are really just crossing gates, or not crossing, the semaphore I have, and then anything IR sensor, so that doesn't scare the crap out of me when I'm trying to film, like going off by itself. Like this IR right here, you know. But this is my command brick, or the command base, so it gets nice signal up here. And I built like this whole desk for my computer, and I edit up here sometimes and do whatever. And then you get your switches, so when you power up, I'm an old school guy, so when I know track is hot, I look at my switch. So if I hit track up here, just give her power. I know it says FR2 right here. That means track 2 is hot. And here's track 1. That's for the freight yard. So real easy. Ice is an old term I used because of my ice station that's up here, or icing station. Originally, that was supposed to go back here, but this is just a little yard here, and then this accessory is wired and it works. I got a leveler out, so as you can see, these guys are getting fired from spilling all the ice. Just my TMCC engines, and this is the Camelback I always talk about. Just simple stuff. Nikki's house, she actually painted this, and
Very nice.
She painted it in Polar Express colors. So
Okay.
she makes me park in the grass. Like, she gets this nice parking spot, then I got to park in the grass. So it's all good. I mean, I want to get back. What was that?
She's just keeping you in line.
Yeah. Right. I want to get backdrops. A lot of you guys have been asking me, what about this white space? I'm looking at getting these backdrops from a local hobby shop. They're $15 a piece. Just do a nice forest scene back here. Kind of inspired by Horseshoe Curve ish. Can't forget about this guy. Here you go. He's reading Model Trains magazine right here. So
Nice.
yeah, I don't know what he's doing. That it's red in there, but we don't. We just kind of let him do his thing. So yeah, back here is just like I said, real simple, just two tracks. That's an MTH building as well. I'm back here. I plan on putting a tower. We'll see. And then gondola's been put to use for smoke fluid back there.
Excellent.
So MTH station. All my buildings are mostly MTH. Um, just the town. I want to add. I have a street light that I just got. It's an old one. It just kind of blinks, but it'll do the trick. But just kind of adding. The next step with this is just adding detail. So this is very plain. All this is actual ballast that I glued for the crossings and stuff. It's really basic stuff here. Actually, one of my viewers, DB Tech, is actually watching tonight. He actually made these for me, 3D printed, so they're kind of cool. All right, so I got my
Nice.
alien, got the Toxic Avenger right here. Uh, one of my favorite '80s movies, just because it's just a weird movie. This section here is kind of like just people hanging out, uh, diners, and all that fun stuff. And this is the new project I'm working on. This video will not be out this week because of everything going on, but it'll be out soon. I'm working on rebuilding. This is a Gilbert news station from the 40s, or sorry, early 50s, but it needs some lights. I'm going to tear this stuff up and just move her back. So can't forget the graveyard. I love horror stuff. Um, Gravedigger. We're getting a Gravedigger monster truck right here for the yard. Um, just a really simple toy layout. That is not staying there. The oil derrick is going somewhere else. It's just temporary. But yeah, it's just kind of it's a toy esque layout, but just
Just have
some
fun with it.
yeah, you know, and a lot of memories too. Like this is a Strasbourg caboose someone custom built. So it's a bobber, and then they built like this whole centerpiece. I stuck an LED on the ground, had to have a light on it. So you know, same with this. This is like my Strasbourg Cherry Hill station right here. Just having fun, really. Um,
That's all it's about.
exactly. I eventually want to face all of this. I hate seeing this every time I film, but what you guys see, for instance, is this. You don't see this. You know, it's a lot of camera magic up here. I don't want to give away my secrets. I've heard that from a YouTuber. But when I film stuff, it's okay to show the dirty work sometimes. I mean, this is the foam I use, and I just need to face all of this stuff. But I feel like right now it's just money not well spent. I'd rather buy a car or buy a piece of scenery than clean up the stuff that you guys in the YouTube land aren't going to see. Because I can set up a camera, for instance. You guys aren't seeing the floor or any of that stuff that looks atrocious, but when I film, you guys are seeing that compared to like that, the dirty work.
And I got to fight that mine too.
Yeah, it's just I think everyone's layout. I'd say everyone's layout has some amount of dirty laundry. Like, I don't want you guys seeing this crappy foam job here either. But it's just how it is, and
Yep.
it's like I said, it's camera magic. When I review stuff, I review it in the yard so it looks presentable, and same with movies. Like if you ever look at um, movie props, movie props look like garbage.
Oh,
A lot of them are like,
oh yeah.
like Star Wars props, and even I saw Back to the Future is one of my favorite series ever. I saw a bunch of props from that movie. I was like, dude, these are junk. Like they made these out of like hemp or something. and, and then you look at it on camera, you don't see it. But 90% of it is just finishing touch stuff. It doesn't really matter because you're like looking over that type of thing. It's not the perspective. So it's all good. It's a marathon,
Awesome.
not a race. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys have
All
any other
right.
questions? Marty, it runs on Steam. It sure does. Well, this case electric, but I gotcha. But I was gonna say, you have any other questions or
What's
ideas?
that?
Do you have any other questions for anyone?
I don't have anything. We almost went 3 hours. Holy cow.
Go, 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 go.
And I am once again out. What the
Oh,
hell?
well, I was gonna say like this technology. I want to thank everyone for bearing with us originally, but we were only like a minute behind. Who cares? Um, it's like the um, the new software. I think it works, so I highly recommend any of you guys in here with channels try it
No.
out.
Yeah,
Have fun.
yeah, it worked out nice. It was,
You know,
yeah.
it's actually working better than the software I've used in the past for bringing. Like we talked about Streamyard. It's so
Yep.
funny. Um, Zach brought it. It was Zach's idea a long time ago, and I was like, dude, let's get this. Let's do this before I'm away for training or whatever. Life happens.
Mhm.
You've been going through a lot in good ways, but it's like
Hey, everybody's busy. It's that everybody's got a life to live.
yeah. I was trying to. I was talking to someone today in a live stream, and I said, StreamYard is not really affordable for YouTubers unless you're making the big bucks here, and it's like 20 some dollars a month to film or stream more than 6 hours a month in full HD, and that's what I
Yeah.
used for about 2 months. And I was like, I can't afford this. Like that's a meal for Nikki and I. I mean, it sounds like when you move out, everything gets really real really fast. It's like, holy crap, that's a meal.
Mm-hmm.
But I end up dropping Streamyard because it sucked because I liked bringing people in. The 24-hour live stream I did, I had to use Streamyard. But after that stream, I was like, dude, I'm cutting it out and using YouTube. But there have been so many problems with that, so I might just use my phone for now on
Yeah.
and chat because, um, yeah, they're getting better. We'll have to see
No,
what's going.
this worked out really nice.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it came out when it did. I mean, it
Oh yeah.
worked out perfect.
And blame Heath, um, Heath of Humanity City Junction for. I reached out to him this week and asked him what software is out there, and he's like, "Wait a minute, YouTube just released this," and it
Yep.
was this week. So I'm like, it couldn't have been better timing.
No, I
Uh,
couldn't have.
so I recommend it. It gets the Nick's Crossing seal of approval, which is to talk about, but oh
Thank
man,
you, John. You as well. Have a great weekend.
Lackawanna John, yeah. I bought Lackawanna stuff, so it worked out too. So,
All right.
but yeah, man.
Well, a big thank you to everybody that tuned in. Make sure
Yeah.
to give Nick a big like. Absolutely like the video. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, this is awesome. I'd
Yeah.
do this again
No,
in a
we'll
heart,
have to do this again sometime in the future.
or we'll surprise everyone. You'll just be up here in the studio one day. That works
One
too.
day.
Or I'll be down there in the bayou.
We'll be hunting some gators.
Everything tastes good fried, so it can't be that
Oh,
bad.
here we go. Here we go. All right. Well, I would give everybody a big salute, but
I'm drinking
yeah.
water this time, but thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank everybody for tuning
Yeah,
in. This was
thank
a
you.
lot of fun.
Definitely.
Appreciate y'all taking the time. Like I say, maybe we'll have to do this again in the future.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a blast.
Oh yeah,
Up
man.
water. A big salute to all of you guys. And once again, happy Veterans Day. A big thank you to all of our vets. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much.
All right, you guys. We all take care, and we'll see you on the next go round.
Oh yeah, happy railroading, guys. See you next time. Check out Zach. If you guys don't know Zach, check out his channel. A lot of you guys probably do, but just in case. We'll see you
Thank
guys.
you again.
It's gonna sound really unprofessional. I guess I hit end stream, so here we go.
Later.
See you guys.